Get your films on with the Blerds.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blerds.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
And welcome to another episode of the Film Blerds. I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. Uncle Jeffrey, a.k.a. J.O.T.'s Dynamite, a.k.a. Praetorian Jeff, Revengeman Button, He Who Remains, Patty Rocksman, Jobu Tupaki, Little Tom, this motherfucker, to be determined. From around the way, I'm going to leave here with something. Black Giovanni Ribisi, Chocolate Tarantino, Ebony Spielberg. And I'm joined here, as always, with my friend and co-host.
What's up, ball bags? My name is Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. Hero Protagonist. You know the plan, a.k.a. the true father of Joe, Aubrey, and Kanye's kids. Yo, Aubrey, they fucking spit on your feet now, bro. How's that feel? Like, yo, they don't like you. They pissed in your shoes. Yo, just cut that fucking child support check for me right now. So I need a new diamond in my chain. The Uzi, aka the pinky ring, needs a new diamond, and the kids need new Jordans. So run that check. AKA Papi Chulo, still eating all your Jello and getting all the women in your life pregnant. Your mama, your TT, your grandmama, your daughter, your grandkids. How do you like that? AKA the Glizzy King. Grace Papaya closed too early. AKA Mr. Krusty. It's so cold out now. It's the end of the year. Might have to use some of this dirt now. I don't want to clown my ass. AKA the Lethal Protector. AKA it's Morgan time. AKA Ezekiel Sims. Bad ADR. Don't match my mouth. Just like KRAVEN. AKA I'm going hunting. I'm the hunter. KRAVEN with the K. AKA, my biggest pet peeve is sports because I don't like seeing grown men sweat on each other. AKA, I want a Subaru Outback with mad strippers in the back giving shape ups. AKA, Rough McGruff. AKA, D's Nuts. And AKA, B Wood, the Mob Deeb. Call me your Messiah or else you get a Chris knife to the gut. And all your women become concubines, and I still take over the galaxy.
We are joined here today by friend of the show, fellow filmmaker and fellow Negro, Jamaal Green. Why don't you introduce yourself, man?
What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for having me on here. My name is Jamaal Green, otherwise known as JG. I don't have a million names yet. I haven't been knighted, so I'm going to leave it there. But you can call me JG, the alopecia prince. You know what I mean? Hairline challenged. Hungry all the time.
Yo, listen, that's where every black man ends up. Either you got gray dreads or you just bald. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
But you can't do both. You can't do both.
You can't do the skullet. I know.
Listen, I'll be okay either way.
You know,
I just prefer to be looking like what's homie from The Walking Dead with the gray dreads.
The Tiger King.
Yeah.
He rocked his dope. He rocked his silver dope. But right now, I usually don't let it get this far out of control because my shit like the surface of Mars right now. But my barber was busy, so that's another discussion. But it's a pleasure to be back on here with y'all again and kicking it with y'all. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, let's get into a couple of pieces of news. Let's start with some breaking news. 20 minutes ago, they announced for the first time ever, the Oscars will be live streamed on Hulu.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, maybe we can actually do a Oscar show
All right,
this
there
year.
we go. Yeah, we got
somewhere I could fucking watch it because I don't have cable no more.
Where? When is it? What's the Oscars again?
March 21st. It's too late. Like I'm like, yo, the end of like right
Oh,
after
word.
the
That
Super
deep
Bowl.
into March? Damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like right after the Super Bowl, that's when that shit should be.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. It's early this year, March 2nd.
Okay.
March 2nd. All
But
right.
still, it should be like, yo, as soon
February.
as Super Bowl's done, like let's get this shit on the road.
That shit was usually in February, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. Like it needs to move back to February. Like, yo, March. We 3 months into the new year. We ain't trying to talk about old shit no more.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, but yeah, maybe we'll do a live, in-person red carpet shit like the shit we tried to do last year.
The other piece of news I want to talk about. I want to talk about Butthurt McGee. I'm be doing a review of his new movie in the main review, but this motherfucker James Mangold is disappointed in how we all reacted to Dial of Destiny, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and to that I say, nigga, the movie wasn't good. Sorry.
Right. Like I'm disappointed that you made that piece of shit. Right. I'm mad. With the Dial of Destiny, I felt like all of those 45-year-old Star Wars fanboys, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I was just thinking about Star Wars last night because it was like this one is a combination of like what Jamaal said, it's The Last Jedi, but also Rise of Skywalker, because it takes the themes of The Last Jedi and tells them in the same exact way as The Rise of Skywalker, where the whole time you're watching it, you're just like, yeah, no thank you. No fucking thank you.
Right, like, so, like, fuck you, James Mangold, for making me feel like I'm aligned with incels, right? With those guys who are in their basements, fucking just being mad that they changed. Well, they're killing my legacy. They're killing my childhood. Like, that's sort of what I felt like with Dial of Destiny. The movie's not good. Like, everything about it is not good.
Period.
Right.
So let me say this. I know you want to explore an older, broken Indiana Jones. We did that shit in the last movie. Like the last movie, after he climbs out the refrigerator, he's back in college and he's just like, man, I miss Brody. Brody's dead. My dad's dead. He's literally by himself.
Right.
And it wasn't like dour or just boring. Like it still had the Spielberg magic.
Right. And like in Dial of Destiny, unceremoniously, oh yeah, Mutt's dead. Right. I'm an alcoholic now because my son is dead.
And you know what? People are like, well, you know, if it was a woman, would you be upset? I'd be, yeah. If it was Maud Williams, I'd still be fucking mad because either way, you're killing off Indy's legacy. I don't give a fuck. You could be a transgender man. I'd still be mad because I'm like, bro, he lost his legacy.
Right, right. Like
nobody wants to watch a whole movie about somebody's slow demise, especially a beloved character.
Right,
a beloved character. It's like, you know, nobody wants to see Indiana Jones turn into Mum-Ra. You know
and, and this is the problem with Disney, man. They listen to the fans too fucking much because that's the only reason why they killed him off. Besides the other dumbass. I remember this. I saw an interview with James Mangold where he's just like, I killed him off just because, you know, if we kept him alive and he was off screen the whole time in the back of my head, whenever they do that, I'm wondering what adventure they're on. I'm like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
100%. Nope.
You could just be like, oh, he's in China or he's raising his own family or he's like off on his own adventures.
Like, that's like the logic is like, oh, I'm taking a shit. I wonder if Brandon's taking a shit. Where is he taking a shit? Right? Like, I'm not thinking of, like, I'm concentrating on my own shit.
Right, because it's not like I sit back and watch Star Wars and is wondering, like, oh, that clone trooper in that one shot. I wonder what clone trooper S2890 is doing once he walks off screen.
I was like, I'm not watching Skeleton Crew and, like, I wonder what Jar Jar's doing now.
Right. Exactly. We're following the characters we're following. There's no need to kill people off. That's fucking lazy and disrespectful, honestly. Sure, like, we all kind of tired of Shia, didn't really like him, but you know what, man? It is what it is. I will take Kingdom of the Crystal Skull any day of the week over Dial of Destiny. Like that was right around the time where Spielberg stopped being Spielberg, right?
Right.
Because
right.
like right after that, yeah, because he made that in Munich back to back, and Munich was like the last time I was like, oh shit. And like the only time like I went like, oh shit, with Spielberg since then was Ready Player One, because at least that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing nothing but dad movies, bro.
Aren't they doing a Ready Player 2? I know the book's
Yeah,
out.
yeah. He already said he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that one.
All right, good. Because
I mean, he got a movie coming out soon, Alien movie.
You mean there's no sequel to Warhorse?
Oh man, that shit was terrible, bro. The only cool thing about that shit was I was at the screening. Tom Hiddleston decided to sit and watch the movie with us. So a row in front of me, every so often you see a dude run in with a cup because he had his assistant running in and out of the screening room, handing him cups of coffee.
I was like, Warhorse is one of those very, very few Spielberg films that I've never seen.
Oh, bro, and you're doing yourself a favor. Same with the BFG. That was not good.
I forgot he did The Big Friendly Giant.
The post is really dry and boring, even though there's one shot in that motherfucker where I'm like, that's amazing. But otherwise, I'm just like, All the President's Men is right there, bro.
Right.
Much better. Yeah.
I got to give Warhorse a fair shake, though, because I caught Warhorse at his tail end run, and I saw like a midnight show at the old AMC 24 that used to be here. I just need to get out the house. And that was just a bad look. Like, that's not the movie. You don't see the last movie show of that joint.
Bridge of Spies was good, but that was like also a dad movie where I watched it and I was like, I never need to see it again. This is something like the only people who love this are like part of the AARP. So like, yeah, man. Look.
Well, sorry, not sorry, James Mangold, that we hurt your feelings. You'll be all right.
I'm not sorry at all. Fuck that.
You'll
nigga.
be all right.
Yeah, right. Go ahead, Jamal.
So what was his statement? What did he say exactly?
I'll look it up in a minute, but like real quick, like Jeff, why don't you look that up while we run through this nigga's filmography? Because I'm looking now and I'm just like, yeah, bro, you need to calm your ass down. So Copland, good.
Love Copland.
Copland is a masterpiece.
Girl Interrupted. It's okay. Kate and Leopold, piece of shit. Y'all don't remember that one?
I do.
I remember the name.
The Hugh Jackman, Meg Ryan romantic comedy where they travel back and forth through time.
What was it called?
It was like 2012 or 2013 or something like that, wasn't it?
2001.
2000. Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, there's the one where Meg
Ryan
traveled, where Hugh Jackman was Leopold and he traveled forward to our time.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah. Identity. Remember that movie?
Identity.
Oof.
Well, wait.
Yeah, bro. The final twist, I will never forget. I will never forget that shit.
Oh shit!
Wow.
I remember really, really liking that up until I can't remember what was that about.
That was the one where they were
in the hotel
strangers.
room.
Yep, and
in
there were five strangers, and one of them was a serial killer.
John Cusack and Ray Liotta. Yeah.
Has one of the most insane twists ever where you're just like, oh, word, y'all really went this way?
Right.
The reveal where you're just like, holy shit, this is awful. Then he did Walk the Line, which was just Ray with white people. 310 to Yuma's good. He didn't write that, though. He just directed it.
Right.
Night and Day is a piece of shit. I'm sorry, y'all.
I didn't see that.
Was that the Mr. and Mrs. Smith knockoff?
Yeah, with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, I remember not wanting to see that, and then I didn't see it. It keeps on popping up on Amazon. It's like, if you like this, you'll like Night and Day. It's like, no, it won't.
Yeah, dog, it sucks. He did The Wolverine, which, fine.
Yeah,
and then Logan's a masterpiece. Ford versus Ferrari, good.
Right.
It's a good dad movie. and then Indiana Jones and the Complete Unknown. So like, yeah,
The
he
complete
has
unknown.
he has more. Yeah, what you'll get a review tonight.
Oh wait! Oh no! All right, no. I thought you called it like Indiana Jones and the Complete Unknown. I was like,
Oh
that's
no, no.
All right, I found the quote.
Go ahead.
Speaking with Deadline, Mangold said, "It hurts in the sense that I really love Harrison, and I wanted audiences to love him as he was, and to accept that that's part of what the movies has to say. The things come to an end. That's part of life. But things didn't come to an end, and I can't remember how the movie isn't he like just in his kitchen in a AT shirt drinking coffee with Marion?
And that's the thing that's really wild to me. You have these two get divorced. She's out of his life, and then wake up and they just make up in the kitchen. Like no conversation, no nothing.
Right.
He just comes to and we're back together. I'm just like, come on, y'all. Like, damn.
Yeah, no.
All that work, and they have this dude end his legacy in this small ass junky apartment in Greenpoint.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, man, oh yeah.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, listen. We already love old man Indiana Jones. We got an old man adventure.
Right.
Like when Spielberg thought he was done, that's why he called it The Last Crusade, and the final shot is them riding off into the sunset as the credits roll over that. Then he decides, like 40 years later, all right, I'll make one more. Ends with him getting married, and he's in love with Marion, and he walks down the aisle arm in arm with his son on one side and Marion on the other. That's it.
It's like it's like the Return of the King. It's got the Indiana Jones trilogy, like series, has like 5 different endings, right? Right? Like it should have ended.
We've had 3 different movies say goodbye to Dr. Henry Jones Jr. Just wild.
Yeah, that's a wild statement. He was disappointed. A little bit of introspection doesn't hurt, or maybe I just didn't make a good enough film.
Right, like that's just accept you didn't make a good movie.
Just take the ownership of it.
Take the L. Take the L.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know how you make a $325 million movie and have the set pieces be fucking boring.
Like the set pieces are boring. The setup, the character motivation. So like Mads is a not Nazi, right? Like
yeah, that was wild. That was wild too.
The CIA officer who's in it for 20 minutes and then is just killed off, never resolved. His frame for murder plot, never resolved.
Antonio Banderas just like being a steamboat captain.
And then immediately killed. Like as soon as he shows up, I was like, damn, there's some life here. Like this movie perked up, and then immediately unceremoniously killed. And I was just like, damn, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge just not doing herself any favors.
Just like her in of herself, because like she was phoning it in, but also that character.
Terrible.
The character was terrible. Yeah,
character was terrible.
All right. Listen, man. Look. It seems like I may be the only one who doesn't like his newest movie, so we'll get into that later. Because you do it just good enough, and you can gas up white people.
And look, white people love a motherfucker with a guitar. White people love white people love a dirty motherfucker with a guitar.
We'll get into that. So, Jeff, what have you watched lately?
What are you watching?
All right, so let's start with on Netflix, The Madness, which is the limited series. I do limited, quote, air quotes, whatever like that, because it's only a limited series if it's not good, right? Like if people love it, they'll get a second season, even though they shouldn't. But The Madness, starring Black Daddy, Coleman Domingo, everyone's favorite Negro of the moment. I absolutely love Coleman Domingo. I've loved him ever since fucking Fear the Walking Dead, right? And he's the only reason I stayed with Fear the Walking Dead. And Lenny Henry, but we'll move on. So The Madness is about a black journalist who unwittingly gets embroiled in a neo-Nazi conspiracy involving murder and billionaires. I began to like the show more and more the further we got into the series, right? Like it really locked in for me around episode 2 to 3, right? Before that, the first episode was fine, was stylish, yada, yada, yada. It was just that the cops in this first episode, like the PA cops and the Pocono cops, they were both really just more inept than was believable, right? And that was the problem. It almost felt like parody. The cops were so inept. And I get what they were going for, is like, but there was no subtlety or nuance in the portrayal. It was like, oh, these cops, they see a Negro, they think that he did it. Meanwhile, like, he is also a CNN pundit in the show. So they would have, because he had access to millions on TV, even the most podunk cop in the Poconos would have treated him with a little bit more respect and kid gloves. And so that was the first episode. I was like, all right, this is the type of Tyler Perry-esque bullshit, we're going to get. The show did get better as like the conspiracy and the paranoia starts building. Second episode, great. Third episode, fourth episode, fifth episode, I'm there. Sixth episode, they should have just ended it there, right? This show is good for that middle run until they realize it's like, oh shit, Netflix gave us an 8-episode order. So we got to do all 8 episodes, right? So things start spiraling off, like becoming totally unrealistic and bullshittery, right? So The Madness should have ended after 6 episodes, but you have 8. It's a good show. It's good to see, black people as the primary focus. It's great to see Coleman Domingo as not like as a secondary character or co-starring. Like, it's good to see him there. He's fucking killing it. This is the first time I've liked Dion Cole in a dramatic role, because he plays Coleman's best friend and also lawyer, right?
Okay.
And like, I liked Dion Cole better in this than in his own show, Average Joe, right? So if he brings this sort of energy to The Madness, to like, if he brings this kind of energy that he brought to The Madness to Average Joe season 2, I would highly actually recommend watching that then. All right. So The Madness on Netflix, it's good. It's not great. It could have been great, but it's good. And it's written by the same dude who wrote Justified. So I stuck with it just for that, right? Because Justified, still one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Moving on.
Let's go.
Hold on, Jeff.
Yeah.
Did you watch City Primeval?
I watched the first 3 episodes of City Primeval. I want to get back into it.
I think you're good.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even those last couple of seasons of Justified started getting a little cartoony.
Yes.
Right? But I was kind of there for that because I loved the characters so much. right? But that happens with all of these fucking not HBO shows. Like anything that's on Stars or Showtime or FX that had real potential, that was really, really good, by the end, it ends up just
Oh
falling
yeah,
apart.
because before you continue, Sons of Anarchy should have been 4 seasons. Like
that should done.
At the end of season 4, when Jax takes over and becomes president, I'm like, yo, this show's over.
Right.
And then it went for 3 more seasons.
And I will die on this hill. The last episode of Sons of Anarchy is probably the worst episode of TV I've ever seen.
Which is crazy because those last 3 seasons are fucking dog shit. Like season 5 was not good. Season 6 was somehow worse than season 5, and then season 7, I was like, yo, y'all are just doing parodies now.
Right? It was like, oh, who's gonna get stabbed this time? Who's gonna get shot? Who's gonna die horribly today?
Which is wild because you won everybody back after season 3 because season 3 was a piece of shit too. They went to Ireland and shit to save his son.
Yeah, I forgot the Ireland episodes.
Yeah.
Woo!
Kurt Sutter.
Yeah. Like I love how Kurt Sutter's the character that he actually played just keeps on getting fucking just raped and mutilated
for no reason.
For no reason.
Yeah, man.
It was like whenever this motherfucker shows, I was like, oh Jesus Christ. What's gonna happen to this dude?
No reason.
I should go back and watch the first 4 seasons of Sons of Anarchy.
Yo, man, I'm gonna tell you what. If season 4 was just as bad as season 3, I probably would have gave up. Right. But by that point, I watched the whole thing because I was like, oh well, I made it through season 4. I might as well just finish this shit out.
You're invested. Yeah.
That's what happens with a lot of shows.
Right.
Once you get to a certain point, and even if you know the rest of it's going to be dog shit, once you're invested, you got to see that dog shit to the end.
Yeah.
Right. Like I know I have to watch the last season of The Walking Dead, right? Because I was there all the way through, but it's just like it feels like doing your taxes, right? You know, like it's something I gotta do eventually, but like I'm not looking forward to it.
Also, it gets to a point where I'm just like, if I'm 6 seasons deep, and this still has like another 5 or 6 seasons, then that's when I bail. That's when I'm just like, this is too much. And if there's no end point in sight, then nah, I'm good. But otherwise, like if I'm like 4, 5 seasons deep and I'm coming up on the end, I'm like, fuck it, might as well.
Yeah, but like because I stuck with The Walking Dead all the way up until that last season. I was just like, I'm gonna watch it just to see how horribly they end this shit.
Yeah, dog. I pulled the eject button right after
Glenn. Most people ejected after Glenn.
Yep, I did too. I was like, you know what? I'm fucking good. And then I came back and watched the Rick and Michonne spinoff, which was really good.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit was real good.
Like, I haven't heard anyone talk about that Daryl Dixon shit.
Yeah, I love how the show changed. Like, it's called The Walking Dead: The Book of Daryl. Now season 2 is The Walking Dead: The Book of Daryl like the
Gospel,
Psalm of Carol,
the Gospel
or like
of
the Gospel of Carol, or the Pages of Carol, some shit like that.
Right, and it's like
the longest title ever for a fucking second season.
But like, what's with these fucking titles now with these shows? Like a TV show or movie is going to be bad if it takes you 10 minutes to say the title, because they're just trying to throw in just big words. Oh, the Book of Carol, that sounds like some it's like some biblical reference bullshit. Oh yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah.
Sounds like they get in Mission Impossible territory where it's like
the Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
Part 5. The fifth reckoning, the book of Luther.
I'm still calling Dead Reckoning Part 1, like forever. I got the Blu-ray, motherfucker. You couldn't erase that out of existence. I got you right here.
It's in
Part
print.
1.
It's in
Part
print.
1, right on the cover too. Part 1. Mission: Impossible - Dead Reckoning Part 1. I still
Man.
got the title at the end of the movie too. End of part 1.
Yo, if we ever get a screening with Tom Cruise for this thing, I'm gonna ask him like, this was good, Mr. Tom Cruise, but whatever happened to Dead Reckoning Part 2? Like you skipped you skipped a whole entire Final Reckoning was great. It was a great way. It was much better than that last piece of bullshit you did. But what was about that middle movie? Whatever happened to Dead Reckoning Part 2?
I'll be like, yo, Tom, I still got the Blu-ray at home. Got Dead Reckoning Dead Reckoning Part 1 all over it, all over the movie too. I guarantee you, like, Tom's gonna launch a campaign and he'll personally come to your house to destroy those copies.
No, but he can do that. But we got to set up like a double dare challenge in your backyard with a fucking poison bow and arrows and flames and shit like that. It's like, Tom Cruise, you can have this final copy of Dead Reckoning Part 1,
Yo,
but you must go through the trials.
We're all gonna start buying physical copies of Dead Reckoning Part 1 and treating them like gold bullion, where we're like digging holes in our backyard and burying it in time capsules. We buried the treasure, so 10 years from now.
That's the plot for Mission Impossible 10. Is Tom Cruise globetrotting, trying to get all of the copies of Dead Reckoning Part 1
and change them to just Dead Reckoning.
As long as James Mangold doesn't do it, I guess we're good.
Shit. Going back to the madness, though. All right, well, I do want to make this like they reference The Wire a lot, deliberately. And yeah, that's great to me. Fuck it. So the madness, it's on Netflix. You already have Netflix, or if you don't, then find a friend to watch it. Moving on from that, Black Doves. And I said this last week. I will say this forever. If it is a spy show or a cop show coming out of the UK, it's going to be fantastic. Black Doves, Netflix. I'm only 2 episodes in, and it is already a fucking banger. It stars Keira Knightley as a undercover spy, with a family and everything like that. But her family is the cover story, right? She developed this. She started a family as a cover, right?
That's crazy.
Whose lover gets murdered, right? And so she goes on a revenge trajectory to find out who killed her boyfriend, right? Meanwhile, navigating her actual 2 kids, that she actually does love the kids, but the husband, who was actually just a target for it, like she was using to get information and to get into Parliament, right? It is sexy. It is fun. The action's great. Keira Knightley, she should be getting more work, and like, I don't care. I love her flat-chested, beautiful self. Like, I know I'm not allowed to make comments on a woman's appearance, but she is not my
Very
type.
petite. Yeah, very
right.
petite.
She is definitely not my type, but I just think she is one of the most gorgeous women walking on the face of the earth. So, and she's a fantastic actress.
That shit sounds like Spy Family, dog.
Spy Family.
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
Robert Rodriguez Drake?
Nah, that's Spy Kids.
Spy Kids.
Okay.
Spy Family's an anime where it's this couple who are quote unquote married because they're both spies working in different agencies, and to keep their cover up, they actually have a daughter, and the daughter can read minds and shit.
Oh shit!
And they have the dog, and the dog's like super smart, so she communicates with the dog because she could read its mind.
That sounds weird as fuck.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I can dig it.
Like the dude, the head of the household, the man, he's apparently so hot that every girl like falls in love with him, and he's so oblivious and awkward. He's just like, oh, what? And his wife actually she does really love him because he's so hot. It's kind of funny.
All right, Spy Family. All right,
All
check
right.
it out. But Black Doves. It's on Netflix. Once again, the British know how to do a TV show. 6 episodes.
Oh,
You
word.
know.
Right? Like, and whenever I see a British show that has 6 episodes, I know they are wrapping it up in 6 episodes. They would have done it in 4 if they could have. Right?
Right, but they're also really good at packing a lot into an
Yeah.
episode, man.
Yep.
Yes.
Like they pack a lot of shit into an episode, so it makes you feel like you've been watching something a lot longer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll bring it back around to Phoebe. She's like, Fleabag is literally like the only British show where I like felt like it didn't have an ending. It just kind of just stops, where she is just like, all right, I'm done.
I can't remember how Fleabag ends. Did she get dick in the end? Did she get fucked?
The hot priest is like, yeah, we seriously can't do it, and then he walks away. They kiss.
Wasn't Hot Priest gay? Or was he gay in real life?
He's gay in real life.
Okay.
So he kisses her, walks away, and she just looks into the camera. She's like, all right, I think I'm done now. I'll see you guys later. And she just walks off.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. That's just like,
Yeah,
wait,
fine.
that's it?
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
what is she working on lately? She got kicked off of, or she had creative differences
with
with
Mr. and
Mr.
Mrs.
and Mrs.
Smith.
Smith. I'm not gonna put that on her because I can imagine
what it's like working with Donald Glover, because these recent interviews, I'm like, oh, you're turning real Kanye-ish, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little worried for you, Donald.
I was like, you're not that big. I mean,
calm your ass down.
It was like that last Childish Gambino album was not good.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that only way that album can work for me is if I see the fucking movie.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like his actual last.
Oh, the surprise one.
The surprise one. That is not good. Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I haven't heard it. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you don't. You don't have to hear it. That's fine.
All right.
So Black Doves on Netflix. I'm surprised that I saw 2 things on Netflix that I enjoyed. So, and that looked like the money was on screen, right? Because the thing with Netflix is you'll watch it. It's like, all right, well, this looks like Canadian TV. All right, The Madness and Black Doves look like they actually cared about lighting and color and pacing. And
Okay.
Yeah. Moving on from that, I finally saw Saturday Night. And all I have to say is, I'm going to get me a shotgun, kill me every whitey I see.
You see. Remember when I did my review and I was like, oh, there's one part in the movie where I was laughing my ass off and the white girl next to me was very angry.
Woo! I want to make that a ringtone. I want.
I was like one of 5 black people in there and the only person dying. Like, I was rolling.
I'm gonna get me a shotgun, kill me everybody I see. Gonna get me a shotgun, kill me everybody I see.
Imagine what that shit was like when it actually first dropped, too.
Right?
During that era.
I want edgy Saturday Night Live back again. Like when they did not give a fuck. When they were just like, we're going to get canceled any minute now. All right? Because this last episode was oof.
Oh yeah, I'll talk about it. Yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah, so Saturday Night, if you have not seen it, watch it wherever you can. It is a brilliant recreation of that first night of Saturday Night Live. And I love movies like this September 5th. I love seeing the behind the scenes of a live production, right? All the stuff that goes into it, because it is maddening, but like exhilarating. So that's pretty much it for solo watches. Do you want to jump into? Did you finally watch Creature Commandos?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about Creature Commandos on HBO Go Max, which is the animated Suicide Squad light.
Yeah, man. It's
it
is what it is. I feel like
James
Jeff,
Gunn.
you probably like it more than I do.
Look, I want to like it more than you do, right?
Oh shit!
It hasn't connected yet. It's only 2 episodes in. It's very James Gunn, very like when he was doing shit with like Slither and Super, right? That very early James Gunn shit, which I'm fine with.
Kind of felt like you grew up from that though, dog.
That's the thing, right?
You know what I'm saying? It's just like okay, all right.
And like here's the thing, big dick energy where you animate yourself into the title credits, right? So it's like the title credits are going through and showing you all of the different various monsters, and then it says written and directed by James Gunn, and then there's like a drawing of James Gunn at his typewriter. It's like, I mean, that's big dick energy right there. But that's also, you have to back that kind of shit up, right?
This just like one of our main reviews tonight. If I was 15, I would absolutely love this shit.
Yeah. No, 100%.
But like I'm approaching 40 in the upcoming years. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm halfway through my 30s, and I'm just like I don't know, maybe like I kind of feel like I've grown beyond this type of shit.
And like it felt to me like a better version of Velma.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it as much. I was just indifferent. Like I can't even say I hate it. I'm just indifferent.
Right, but it's like the same type of tongue-in-cheek jokes.
Yeah.
But like it's a better version of Velma. I do like the fact that it's not like a monster of the week type shit. Like it's an actual story that's
mission.
Like a mission that they're going to go throughout the whole thing. The animation is great. The voice acting is fine. I really like Lady Frankenstein, like the bride. I like that character. I'm gonna give it a couple more episodes. I really am.
Here's something that does rub me the wrong way. Okay, this is the very first project from DC Studios under James Gunn. So like reboot, right? I don't like that. Then this is now a sequel to the Suicide Squad, because I'm like, if we're gonna reboot this thing, blow it up and start over. I don't even care if you have the same characters, or I meant the same actors playing the same characters in a different continuity. That's fucking fine. My thing is, you can't be like, oh, Rick Flag, I know your son died.
Right.
Oh yeah, we can't do the Suicide Squad anymore because everybody saw what happened in the last mission, and that violates human rights. And I'm just like, man. It feels disgusting that you get to make sequels to your shit, but then everything else gets blown up. Because Peacemaker's getting a second season. I'm like, is this going to be a continuation of just your shit? Or are we really starting over?
Well, no, it's going to be a continuation of his shit, because his shit, honestly, has been the most successful shit. That's the reason he got the job.
That rubs me the wrong way.
And I get it. I get how it would rub you the wrong way, but to me, it's like, well, it's like you won, right? Like James Gunn, you won, so you get to make the rules.
But like, I really like Suicide Squad a lot. I'm kind of indifferent on Peacemaker. You know what I mean? Like
I
Peacemaker.
Really
Peacemaker's okay. Like,
right? Like
I don't know.
I love John Cena. Like, and I've never actually seen this dude wrestle. Right, I've never known his wrestling persona.
I knew him as a rapper before I knew him as a wrestler.
Well, that nigga raps?
No, I knew him as a wrestler.
That
was his whole shtick.
Yeah. He put out a whole album, went like platinum.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
wait, is he in line to get an EGOT right? Like, oh shit, I had no idea.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, I've only known John Cena as an actor, and I love him as a comedic actor who actually has dramatic chops. Right?
I'm not even gonna hold that against you because that's all correct. But it's just like I don't know. It just feels like Suicide Squad 3 because
right. And I get your feelings. It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. To me, it's like, look, you won, right? Like your shit.
But then if we're doing this shit, then like get Henry Cavill back up in here. Like fuck you, bro. Like
yeah,
commit
please.
Or don't commit to it is what I'm trying to say. Like really do the shit.
Right.
Like this fake ass like
either you're gonna blow it up or you're gonna retcon, make it work. Make all the shit work because like I want Henry Cavill back. I want fucking Surfer McGee back. Like what the fuck his name is? Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah.
I want that nigga back.
He's the only one where I'm like, yo, if he's as long as he comes back as Lobo, because he would be an awesome Lobo.
Right. Oh yeah, he's much better.
Because he's basically Lobo now as Aquaman.
Right. He's like Lobo underwater.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, man.
You can get rid of Gal Gadot. Right?
Yeah.
Like you can replace her.
I mean, Ezra Miller has to go. Ezra Miller gotta go. Like that.
Right.
Like Flash came out and everybody's like, no, thank you.
I'm still mad that everybody was hyping up Flash. It's like, oh, it's the
I'm
best
mad that they were hyping up that performance, bro. Like, there's no way you walk out of that movie and be like, yeah, all's forgiven with Ezra Miller.
It's like all the sexual assaults. It's like the way you tripped. Right?
Like the way they were talking about that performance, I was expecting like Daniel Day-Lewis level acting. Like I was like, yo, this better be coming out where he is eating like Denzel in Gladiator 2. That's what type of performance I was expecting, something like that. And like, bro, not even in the same league. Like let's forget the ballpark. Not even the same league. I'm like, nah, get him the fuck out of here, bro.
So the
thing is, it probably would have landed better if they didn't overhype it the way they did.
Yes,
100%.
Yes,
100%. But like
from everybody, critics and fucking industry people.
When Gal Gadot is better than you in your own movie, you know you got a problem. Like I don't like her.
Why the fuck was she in that?
What?
Why the fuck was she in that?
I have no idea. Cause boners.
Yeah.
Right.
Damn.
Because you gotta sell boners to teenagers. That's why she was in there.
Like her random cameo in Shazam too. I'm like, oh, like I guess she's the Nick Fury for this shit.
But why? Batman's the Nick Fury.
Yo, listen.
Batman's Nick Fury.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this is why I'm saying blow this shit up, because it's goofy. It just makes this shit continue to look fucking goofy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be having Amanda Waller be like, yeah, Cordell Marti's really fucked up. Task Force 6. So now we got to use monsters. Sorry about your son dying on the last mission. I'm like, God damn, bro.
Winston was a good actor too, man.
No, I don't even I like Brandon said, if they recycle the actors, same roles, whatever like that, still works, because I don't think anybody could replace Viola as Amanda Waller.
I mean, they had Angela Bassett in Green Lantern, and she was a perfect Amanda Waller. But I'm not going to even hold you like, yo, I'm glad Viola still wants to play the role. I'm not even saying, like, give it back to Angela. I'm glad. Yeah, let her keep the fucking role. Just like, bro, different continuity, because this shit fucking sucks. Like, it's and these first 2 episodes to me had just been like, whatever. So now you're starting off on the wrong foot with me.
Right. And it's sort of like what we're going to talk about in our main review. It's rated M for mature, but it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like the shit they're putting in there is like, it's not funny. It's not sexy. It's not even overly excitingly violent.
The shit with Rick Flag Sr. and the princess, I'm like, dog, this is juvenile. It's like not entertaining. Harley Quinn does that so much better, and it's actually funny.
Right. Yeah. Well, because they couldn't. They couldn't get Margot back. That's why they put.
I mean, according to James, when it comes time to bring her in, she's still Harley in his eyes.
Sure. Okay. Look. Let me see a Superman trailer.
Like we said, it wasn't the casting outside of a few people. It wasn't the casting that was wrong with those movies.
Yeah. Just give me a Superman trailer. Like,
let's see the Superman trailer now. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, because this, I feel like if Superman ends up being good, then this just feels like some throwaway shit.
Right. I mean, it should have been throwaway shit. Like, no one was asking for Creature Commandos. Like, I had to look up Creature Commandos.
Yeah, I didn't know who these motherfuckers were either. I was just like, sure, look. Whatever.
Sure, like, all right, yeah, Monster Squad.
Like, really, my most anticipated stuff from DC is the Lantern Show. Honestly, that's the shit I'm dying to see.
For sure.
The Lantern Show and Superman. Like, I want a Superman. Let me see a trailer.
Now I'm with Jamal, where I'm just like, you know what? Let me see a trailer first.
Yeah.
So that's Creature Commandos. Moving on from that, did you see the Day of the Jackal?
Yeah.
Yes, nigga.
Oh man.
All right,
Jack.
That's still in the queue.
Yeah. So this episode of Day of the Jackal, we saw it was all about how it was flashback on how the Jackal became the Jackal. And this motherfucker been killing since killing was killing.
Dude,
right?
The way the episode ends, where I'm just like, man, you know what? He kind of looks like a good, he's like the hero. The Jackal's the good guy. He's he's the good guy. He's not even a bad guy. He's the good guy.
And that's the great thing about the show. It's not morally ambiguous, right? Like, they're definitely like, you are breaking the law and you are, enforcing the law, but you kind of like and hate both of them, right? Like, you're rooting for both of them, right? But whenever
you're rooting for her to close the case and get promoted and reunite with her family, but then you're also rooting for the Jackal to get away and ride into the sunset.
Right. And also, his wife's family needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man. They are stupid, huh?
Like, every episode is like, he is going to kill you.
Yeah. He sees it. He gets the notifications on his phone and he watches the live feeds.
Right? And when they're in there and they're watching the TV and the brother's like, oh, that looks like James, right? It's like, motherfucker, you shut your fucking mouth.
And I love how his sister had to pull him aside and be like, yeah, you need to shut the fuck up or else, listen, you're going to die. You're going to die.
Right? Like, you already stole 40 grand and the gun. Like,
right, man. Like,
what do you think?
Also, if you see him on the news, eventually I would be like, you know what? Let me go put this money and this gun back.
It's like,
that is trouble I don't need.
Yeah. So this show, and we only have we're on episode 7, right?
Yeah. So I think we got 1 or 3 more episodes. I don't know if it's 8 or 10.
Yeah, we only have a couple of more episodes. I mean, we're getting to season 2. It's our agreement.
Yeah, I really thought this was a mini series, man.
Yeah, but
hold on, let me Google this.
Limited series until it's good, until it's popular, and then it gets to season 2. But the Jackal continues to be one of the best cat and mouse spy thriller shows ever. But every episode is just pure escalation and tension. There has not been one bad episode, right, in this whole entire thing.
All right, so Jeff.
Yeah,
that was episode 8. So we have episode 9 and 10.
Oof, two more
episode
episodes.
9 aired December 5th in England, and it's gonna premiere tomorrow here.
Yeah, so it's
people in the UK gotta wait with us for the next episode 10, the final one.
Yeah, because there are
Premieres
no
here and
spoilers.
there the same day.
Because they're not going to spoil it. They can't spoil that shit. Because it's
Maybe
going to be
because
it's going to be a banger. It's going to be
well,
wild.
clearly this became much bigger of a hit than they anticipated.
Right. It is Sky TV's biggest show ever.
That's crazy. Okay.
Just in the Britain or like worldwide?
No, like worldwide. It is Sky TV, like produced by.
That many people have Peacock?
Right. Either, but like Peacock and Sky TV, right? Because like over there it's Sky, right? That's their NBC.
Gotcha.
But like the production, like that's their network. That's their biggest show in the history of ever.
But I mean, when you have a show like this good, and it stars Eddie Redmayne, who's an international movie star, and then Lashana
Lynch, yeah,
another international movie star, both from Britain, both pretty, especially Lashana. Like, she is gorgeous. Like, come on, bro. Like, of course.
Eddie Redmayne is weird handsome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He's the Benedict Cumberbatch handsome.
Yeah, it's like, I guess, maybe. Yeah.
Like, if you say so.
Yeah, right. If you say so. Okay, I get it. All right, sure.
I'll go with it.
Yeah. He ain't ugly, but like, yeah, he's been drinking too much. He got some bags under his eyes. He looks like he a nightmare. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Day of the Jackal, Jamaal, you actually need to watch. You need to just spend the day, dude.
It's today.
Just spend
today's that day. Yeah.
Spend the day. It is fucking worth it.
It makes me mad because they put up the first 4 episodes because they all aired in the UK. So when it premiered here, they threw up all 4 episodes.
Right.
Now we gotta wait week to week. I'm like, damn, I hate y'all for this.
Right, because I was like, I knew I had something when I discovered Day of the Jackal. I had something to do, right? Like that night, and I was like, let me just watch an episode before I do the thing, before I go out, right? And it's like every episode is like, all right, episode 2 was like, all right, I can watch one more episode before I have to leave. And then I'm like, by the time I'm on that 3rd episode, I was like, fuck it, I'm in. Like, I'm not going anywhere. And then I get to episode 5, it's like, oh shit, there's no more. What's happening? Yeah, so
I'm going to be real with you, Jeff. Day of the Jackal, that's what I want from Den of Thieves 2. Like, if we could get something, like, it's not going to be as smart as this, but something like a little less sophisticated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
That's all I asked for. You know?
100%.
Nice mid-level action.
Right? The shit doesn't have to blow up, right? Like, I just need, like, a nice cat and mouse.
Because, the trailer for Den of Thieves 2 is 10 times better than all of Den of Thieves 1.
Oh, shit. So that's the Day of the Jackal. I didn't watch. I can't bring myself to watch Dune. So if you want to talk about, if you want to jump into your reviews.
All right. So you know Travis Fimmel?
Who's that?
Travis Fimmel, dude from Saved by Wolves or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how he set them people on fire at the end of the first episode?
Yeah.
He demonstrates his powers in court. Like, he's on trial and he demonstrates his powers.
Oh,
so now it's out. Like, oh yeah, he can do this.
Oh, okay.
And now Mark Strong's like, maybe I could use him as a weapon from here on out. Now that he's shown his powers.
I was like, well, you should have used him from a weapon. Like, you knew he was a weapon, right?
Yeah, but now they're trying to overthrow Mark Strong because he's fucking up and letting this nigga stay alive. So like,
gotcha. Yeah,
so now the Bene Gesserit are plotting and shit like that.
All right.
We got 2 episodes left, so
look, if it sounds like this would be interesting, it really does. But like that first episode, really just.
And to me, this is also another step down because I thought episode 3 was really good, like really clean, very simple to follow, good storytelling, good characters. Shit I ain't see coming, and now we're back to the banality of just whispering in corridors. This nigga got to go. I'm like, yeah, I know y'all said that like the last episode.
Right, you were saying that for 2 episodes. Like, get rid of him then.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm gonna stick it out.
Okay.
Maybe this show's hurting because Dune's not been doing well in award season so far, and I'm gonna blame this show.
No, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna blame I'm not gonna blame this show because no show is so bad that it takes away from a great movie. I'm gonna blame award season on because last year, Oppenheimer, a big budget, tentpole like intelligent film, did the rounds, right? It was a juggernaut. I think this year they're not even judging shit on artistic merit anymore.
Oh no,
right?
because we already know from the way things are rolling out now. I'm like, oh, Wicked's gonna win Best Picture,
Right.
which I'm like is some bullshit because if we're giving Part One's Best Picture, that means Fellowship could have won Best Picture instead of A Beautiful
Yeah.
Mind.
Right.
Fucking Dune could have won Best Picture when it first came around. Like, fuck y'all.
Right. So, like, honestly, now it's seeming that it's like the Grammys, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not based on artistic merit as much as box office.
It's popular.
Right. Honestly. And, like, look, I love Wicked. All right. I've, seen it, twice now. I'm going to see it a third time before it leaves. I actually do think it is a healing balm for the human psyche, but also it's if you're going to nominate that, then other movies should have gotten nominated that weren't on the list.
I'm saying, man, like, seeing Gladiator 2 get more nominations,
right,
and end up on end of year's list over Dune. I'm like, what are we doing here, dog? Like,
That's crazy.
The only thing I
That is
gave Gladiator
crazy.
2 on any of my awards bodies that I'm part of, the only one I gave it to was for Denzel for Best Supporting Actor, and that was it. That was
That's
the
something
only
that
thing I
makes
voted
sense.
for. Yeah,
and honestly,
yeah.
he shouldn't even be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He should just be like Best Actor, Best
Oh,
lead.
hell yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
that's his movie.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Look, he is. If you look at the end credits scroll, he
Right.
is second listed, right after Paul Mescal,
Right. And like they had to put Paul Mescal
because he's the
Mescal,
fucking lead.
right?
Mhm.
But like he's not the lead. Denzel's the lead. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yo, and y'all making me hate Wicked for no reason other than like this is the hill we're gonna really die on, bro.
Right. Wicked is far superior than fucking Gladiator 2.
And y'all making me hate a movie I don't even hate. That's what really pisses me off. Is like now y'all making me hate something where I'm just like I shouldn't even hate this. It's because of y'all. Can't even the shit that needs to be awarded can't.
But anyway, all right. So that's Dune. Was it Dune Messiah? Dune Prophecy?
Messiah is the upcoming film.
Third one, yeah. But it's Dune, the TV show no one cares about. And it's probably not going to get a second season.
Oh, well, we'll see. I think they spent too much time and money on it. But they definitely rushed this, and I think they should have held off on this till it was ready, because this clearly still isn't ready. Like, I get it. They spent so much money on pre-production because it passed through so many different hands, but like...
Yeah, but we can't get Acme versus Coyote out there.
Yeah,
right? We can't get the Batgirl can't get the Batgirl movie out there. That's cool. All right.
Hey man, they're giving us Sinners and they're giving us Mickey 17. I'm surprised those are even coming out. You watch both of them trailers, and I was just like, that's wild. These are coming out
because they were probably cheaply made. You probably both of them were probably made for like under 50.
Sinners cost 90.
Really?
And Mickey 17, I think, costs 150.
Really? I mean, but honestly, even compared to what they spent on Deux de Folie or whatever.
Oh yeah, Folie au Doigt.
Joker 2 Electric Boogaloo.
You know, remember when sequels used to get made? You would get like literally like another. The most it would be like another 10. I don't know how we went from
double,
like triple. Like, how do you go from 60 to 190?
You don't.
Yeah, man. Like I would sit down somewhere and be like, guys, the first one cost 60, and you're trying to tell me you need 190 for this next one? No, that's not how that shit works. If this is the third one, then yeah, because it's because we've had outstanding success twice.
This is why Hollywood. This is why Hollywood is quickly
trouble they're in. Yeah,
falling apart.
Yep.
And you're wondering why. And like, in Hollywood executives are like, well, how come all these YouTube shows are taking off in content? Blah 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 blah. It's like, because you spend dumb amounts of money on bullshittery. Meanwhile, some asshole in Idaho can kick his brother in the nuts on camera for $20.
So, Jeff, get this. Red One looks to be finishing up its run anywhere between $70 and $80 million here, and worldwide, its total looks to be anywhere from $130 to $150. Movie costs anywhere from $250 to $300. It's streaming on Amazon starting Friday.
Yeah.
Remember when they said it was going to play through the holidays? And it was going to be a new Christmas classic?
Right. We're still like 2 weeks from Christmas, right? This thing should be playing in theaters.
I mean, it
it's
is.
Not good.
It is.
It's not good. But like, it should be like it should. This should drop on demand on Christmas Day. Like, call it a Christmas present.
Or after New Year's.
Yeah. Right. But like, if this came out on demand on Christmas Day, right, it would probably make so much more money, because people are like, all right, what do we want to, we're unwrapping presents, blah, 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 hanging around, hungover, don't want to talk to Uncle Greg, right?
What do we do now?
What are we going to do now? Oh, shit, like fucking Red One's on.
I'd be like, who's sober enough to drive us to Nosferatu? Let's throw money at the kids. The kids don't get kidnapped. Go see Moana 2. We're seeing Nosferatu. Remember, here's some pepper spray. Here's a rape whistle. Let's go see Nosferatu while they see Moana 2.
Yo, drop the kids off from Moana 2 with a rape whistle. Yo,
too many Matt Gateses out there now.
Oh, fuck. Oh shit.
So listen, no ditties happening to my kids.
What did Santa put in your stocking? Fucking bear mace. All right. What else have you been watching?
All right. Let's talk about Paul Mescal's SNL. I think the Gladiator 2 skit was the funniest shit, to be honest with you.
That movie?
The musical.
The musical, yeah. So here's the thing. I love that Dana Carvey is still hanging out in New York after the Biden thing. That's cool.
Yeah, he's just going to be on this season now, huh?
Yeah.
Just make him a player again.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing. Stop pulling out shit from the 90s that wasn't funny back then. Like
he's doing
that church lady cold open. That was horrible.
Yeah, that was not good. A lot of it was not good. Yeah. Please Don't Destroy's back, and I'm just like, ooh. After having so many Lonely Island skits,
it's like you are not fucking the Lonely Island. Like, everything they do is, and I like Please Don't Destroy, but if you line it up next to Lonely Island, right?
These niggas on at the same time,
right? Like,
that's so
You can't-
disrespectful.
You can't remind me of how good Lonely Island is by putting Lonely Island on there as comparison to Please Don't Destroy. That's not fair to Please Don't Destroy. That's not fair to those guys.
I think that also that dichotomy right there is the problem with season 50 so far. Is like it has no identity at all.
Like, all right, yeah, I get it. You're bringing, but you're like, if you're gonna do it, right? If you're gonna bring back everybody from the last 50 years,
like bring them back, yeah,
bring them back. But not like this piecemeal bullshit. It's who's this schizophrenic bullshit that they're doing, right? Like,
yo, you know what, man? Maybe Lauren should hand it off to Tina Fey. Fuck it,
yeah, right? Because like, if you're bringing back people, bring them all back. Right, and then like, okay, season 50, yeah, I get it, right? But then you also schedule talent accordingly. You don't put Lonely Island up against Please Don't Destroy.
Yo, Lauren, retire.
Man.
Oh,
they've been
man.
on life support for a minute, so
right,
the decision making has been really bad for a hot minute now. So,
and even their heavy hitter guests who usually put out the best episodes have been trash this season. Where I'm just
upset with the Bill Burr episode,
the John Mulaney episode.
That could have been so much better. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Chris Rock is this weekend, and I'm just like, man, I feel bad for Paul Mescal because you see he had the charisma and energy to pull it off, but like, damn, bro, the scripts are terrible.
And Chris Rock is not going to do well this week because you heard that controversy. Like he walked off
at the party,
and shit like that.
Yeah.
What happened?
So apparently he told a joke. It didn't land. Someone had a camera there, right? Mm-hmm. And he walked off. And he's like, "I told you no cameras," right? And he walked out of this billionaire's party.
I just would have been like, "Yo, security, just handle that shit and just continue your set."
But it's a billionaire party, right? It's a private billionaire party. You can't they're not unless someone. We've all seen SVU.
Yep.
They're not going to do shit unless there's actually blood. Like security's not going to do anything unless someone's literally getting raped on the canopy.
So he's a comedian. He should have flipped it on him and be like, yo, look at this fucking asshole. Remember when I told y'all not to bring their phones out? That's how rich y'all motherfuckers are. Is that you're going to be a fucking asshole and disrespect me. Like, you could have easily flipped it.
So you're going to write. So, I mean, honestly, you should write for Chris Rock then. Like,
shit.
But but he's not.
How did I come up with that? And I'm not even a comedian, bro.
Yeah. So, hopefully he'll kill.
We'll see. But
it's not looking good.
And then who's hosting the Christmas episode next week? I can't even remember.
I don't know. I don't. If it's not the joke trade-off from Weekend Update, I really don't care anymore. Right?
Hold on. See, this is gonna bother me, bro.
Because that joke trade.
Because it's Go ahead.
The joke trade episode between Shay and Jost. Honestly, that's what I look forward to every year.
Right.
I mean, I like the Christmas episode in general just because it's so filthy because they don't care. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So the Christmas episode, it might be saved, bro. It might be saved.
Who is it?
Martin Short.
Yeah, maybe.
Again, it's about the writing. So the skits are still bad.
Yeah,
that's true.
They try and rescue it, do old stuff that doesn't land.
That's true. Damn, where's Steve Martin? Why isn't he with him this time?
I don't know.
All right, well, yeah.
Tina Fey, come back. We need you.
Shaboozey, yeah. Shaboozey's not for me. Also tired of hearing that fucking song, so sorry, bro.
I mean, look, I love black country and western. I'm glad we're taking that shit over too, even though it was our shit to begin with. It's fine.
But yeah, I'm tired of hearing that fucking song. Like, if I want to hear that song again, I'll just put on what's that dude's name? Damn, I can't even remember.
Hootie the Blowfish?
No, not
Darius
Hootie.
Rucker?
Nah, dude who did Tipsy. Everybody in the club getting tips.
Oh, who the fuck did that?
Chingy.
Chingy.
I just put on Chingy, bro.
But like no, like that Shaboozey song, right? It's like the Pied Piper for white women, right? Like you put that song on and they start whiskey.
Yeah, because Tipsy was for niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? I remember being in high school and seeing people fight to that shit. They would like, yo, females just became sluts when that shit came on. And I was like, damn.
Team
song was
drinking is, I don't even know how the rest of that intro goes, but like, yeah.
1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Everybody,
Oh shit!
I forget what it goes.
Stop!
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
It's like the ring.
In the club getting tipsy.
It's like the ring, man. Like once it's out there, it's in your head.
Yeah, sorry, Shaboozey, but I liked it better when I was 15.
I liked it better when it was called Tipsy.
Yeah, I was young when that shit fucking dropped.
We were also younger.
I wasn't young, but I was younger.
I was younger.
All right, let's get into Lioness. Entertaining, but dumb as fuck. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. This shit is just dumb. Like, top to bottom, just steeped in melodrama, dog. Steeped in melodrama.
Yeah, I mean, I hear things about it. Like, I hear is it third season now? Second season?
Yeah, it just wrapped up its second season. Both seasons are only 8 episodes, and the second season needs to be longer because the second season, a congresswoman is kidnapped by a Colombian cartel, and then it just snowballs into a whole international conspiracy where they end up in a firefight and start World War III in Iraq. And I'm just like, sure.
Yeah.
Only thing that makes it work. Go ahead.
No, okay, brother. Finish up.
The only thing that makes it work is the character dynamics. Like, I like the character dynamics between every single character in the show. Otherwise, like, without the actors that they have in this and the character dynamics, this should just be some bullshit.
Yeah, it reminds me, like the first season I dug it. I mean, I like the acting, I like the action, I like the dynamics save it. Somewhere it went off course where I stopped caring about the plot. Because if I cared about the plot, I didn't want to like it anymore. You know what I mean? It reminds me of like those later seasons of Homeland where you're just like, okay, what the fuck are y'all doing? You know what I mean?
Damn, I still haven't even finished this. I remember I got halfway through the second season, I just didn't finish.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So.
But yeah, like I'll say to this, Jamal, I do like the first season better than the second. Like the
first
only
season's
thing,
good. Yeah.
The only thing that's done better in the second season than in the first season is the relationship between Zoe and her daughter. Otherwise, like, even the first season, it falls into that melodrama where she falls in love with her target. I'm like, yo, come on. Like, this is fucking over the top.
It's like they had unused storylines from Homeland, and they just decided to throw it in there.
I was like,
change the names and places.
This is some fucking Young and the Restless type bullshit. I love you, but I also have to betray you. Yeah. Fuck out of here, bro. Tyler Sheridan, man, clearly you're spreading yourself thin, and it shows.
Yeah,
you got more jobs than Jamaica, man. I mean, you can't be mad at him. He's trying to do it all.
Oh man, it's yeah, he's doing something all right. He fucking needs to hand. He needs to start trusting other people to execute shit. Because Terrence Winter was the showrunner on Tulsa King, and he got demoted to head writer because he didn't agree with Taylor Sheridan. Despite him being a co-creator on the show and a producer, he created Boardwalk and show-ran Boardwalk, and he was a writer for like almost all the Sopranos. So like, yo, dude, like, fuck you.
Like, he knows mob shit, right? So
yeah, man. Like,
let a motherfucker cook. And like what we were talking about earlier in the show, right? You can put your name on it, right? Like, you can still be a Tyler Sheridan thing and let other motherfuckers do the work.
Yeah, you can't.
That's the best
there's
of
not
both
enough hours in the day for you to do all those series and have that type of control over it. Right, and have it turn out well. You just can't do it.
Like, how are you going to enjoy being rich? if you're so busy working.
Yeah.
Because I just read today that the Matthew McConaughey sequel series to Yellowstone is now going to be a Michelle Pfeiffer sequel series called The Madison. And then he's doing another prequel to Yellowstone called 1943. And I'm like, damn, bro.
He's just going to do every year.
I'm like, go!
44, 45.
So you're trying to tell me
Yeah.
Yellowstone now has like 8 spinoffs plus all these other shows that exist in the same universe? This is insane, man. It makes no fucking sense.
At this point, he is making the Yellowstone, like his blueprint for Yellowstone is the Wu-Tang Clan, right?
Everybody got a solo album. It's like the main show, and then a solo.
You got Wu-Tang, and you got Sons of Wu Soldiers, right? Like,
yo, because fucking, they're saying Kelly Riley and Cole Hauser may be getting their own sequel show as well.
Sure,
I'm just
not?
like, oh, God damn, bro.
Why not?
Who's gonna be left? Never mind. Yeah, you may as well. Let's go for it.
Not?
Whatever.
And I've just
if they're gonna keep paying and get your money, man, whatever.
I just heard nothing but terrible things about these last 6 episodes of Yellowstone. I was like, my man, you had 2 years to write 6 episodes, and so far it seems nobody likes what you're doing in these final 6 episodes. And yet you still have 5 other shows and another 3 spinoffs coming. Sure.
My man was like, I don't know when this shit gonna dry up, so he said yes to everything.
Who does he owe money to? Like he's working like he owes people
He's like,
money.
I don't know, this Trump shit may not work out. So let me
And the thing that pisses me off too is now he's back as an actor in his own shit. Like he's in Lioness season 2, and like he literally saves everybody at the end of season 2. I'm like, come on, bro. I just read reviews of the latest Yellowstone episode where they said half the fucking episode he's playing strip poker with Bella Hadid. And they're like, we don't care about this shit. We're trying to see what's going on with the ranch.
I'm Tyler Sheridan, goddammit. If I want to get... Y'all gonna see my dick. One way or another, niggas gonna see my dick.
Also, Bella, go get your money doing a promotion, man. You don't gotta be doing this shit. Like, you could go sell some lipstick and make like $250 million. Like, don't do this shit. Yeah. You know what? Just because I was in a CIA mood because of this show, I watched the first episode of The Agency.
Okay.
Talk about shifting gears. This is so now I'm just like, you know what? I'll wait till this is done and I'll binge it because this is an observe and report type spy show, and it's mostly like a love story, like true espionage and romance rolled into one. I was just like, very different,
right?
Yeah.
I love a spy. I love spy shit like across the board. But like you said, there are different levels of spy shit, right?
Yeah, man.
Like
yeah.
This is like, you can't go from strip poker, exploding pen shit to like, let me follow this guy for 5 episodes and see what his daily routine's like.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith. I think Alicia Vikander. I can't remember, but yeah, like, yo, first episode across the board. I'm just like, damn. Okay, Showtime. I see why y'all spent the money. Guess who directed the first episode?
Who?
Joe Wright.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh shit. All right.
Shit.
So yeah. Listen, I'll come back to this. I'm gonna bookmark this before the price goes up on Paramount Plus. Still trying to get my money's worth out of this $6 I paid for 2 months. 2 months for $6.
Oh gosh, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? Before I click that end subscription button again. Because y'all got me fucked up. You think I'm paying normal prices for this shit. And I pay normal prices for Disney Plus, so think about that. All right, let's move into movies. Um, let's start with Thelma.
Right?
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Real
I
good
told
movie.
you, yeah.
Fred Heishinler having a good year. He's been good in everything I've seen. He's played everything. He's played a very scary racist scumbag in Nickel Boys. Played an absolute psycho in Gladiator 2. Played a kind, endearing grandson in Thelma. And played an absolute soy boy in KRAVEN.
I was going to say, like, soy boy beta cuck, yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
very, very wild range that I appreciate as from an actor.
Yeah.
So shout out to you. And he has charisma because he came in for the Gladiator Q&A.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I get you're a charming motherfucker. I can see why you're getting roles.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's having himself a nice little run here from 2022. Actually, from 2021 on. So, and,
I saw, like, I didn't even recognize him in Gladiator 2 because my first introduction to him was like Thelma, right? I was like, who's this kind-hearted little grandma's boy, right? And it's like that dude in Gladiator 2 looks familiar.
I mean, that's like Jamaal said, he's been working since 2022 because I do remember seeing him in other things before this year. Mm-hmm. It's just this year the roles that he's in are just
higher profile.
Yeah, and they stand out.
Yeah,
because outside of Denzel, I mean, it's him too.
Yeah.
Like honestly, everybody but Paul Mescal.
And again, that's the script.
Right. Yeah. Like,
because even on SNL, I was just like, oh, it's not him. It's the script. Because like it's sad when I notice him more on terrible SNL skits than I do in a $250 million blockbuster.
Right. And Pedro Pascal, like, wasted.
Oh yeah, forgettable. Right. Keep forgetting he's in the fucking movie.
Right. Like he's
keep forgetting.
Yeah. See.
The characters
Paul Mescal, I do remember you're in the motherfucker.
Yeah. But like I said, man, I felt like when I was watching that, being hyped for that, I felt like everybody else was acting for 300 and Denzel was doing Shakespeare. You know what I mean? And that was the difference. The characters were one dimension. Who knows that Denzel's character could have been written one dimension like everybody else, but Denzel just got that magic.
I mean, let's give it up for Fred though, because like that gold tooth,
right? The gold tooth and the monkey.
Yeah, it worked for him.
I was just like, why the monkey had a diaper on it in the dress? Who took time to sew that shit?
so he want to get shitted on, but like, yo, that's what I want to be when I get old. I want to be wearing Denzel's clothes, but take the fucking gold tooth from Fred, the gold tooth and the monkey.
Oh man.
Yeah, so Thelma, real good. I liked it.
It's
Malcolm
cute.
McDowell, even in your old age, you're still playing scumbags, huh?
Right? Like, when's the last time Malcolm McDowell played a good guy?
I don't know. He was
Caligula. If he ever has, man. Yeah, man.
He was Caligula. He was Alex DeLarge. He was the villain in the first season of Heroes. Damn.
Let me look that up. Let me look up the last time he
that's
actually
a
played
fact finding mission. I don't know if there's actual footage that exists of Malcolm McDowell playing.
Because he just has that evil face, man. It's handsome evil face.
All right. You guys continue. I'm going to find out the list of. I've never seen SpongeBob SquarePants. Percival Rockhound.
Oh yeah, he was a bad guy in that.
God damn it! All right.
Yeah, bro. Sorry. Yeah, the rest of what I'm going to talk about for movies is going to be in the main review.
All right. Wait. Roger Menzies from Gossip Girl. Was he a good guy?
I've never seen Gossip Girl, so I can't tell you, bro.
Neither have I. Has this nigga ever watch? He's the one time he plays. I've never seen Pulps Alone. God damn, has he ever played a good guy? He played Rupert Murdoch back in 2019. Like, goddamn, just nothing but scumbags and
God
villains.
damn, yeah.
Oh man, come, there's got to be something.
Somebody tried arguing with me that Caligula was a good guy, and I was just like, bro, no, man.
What movie was he watching? Well, how was he?
I don't know. Like, Caligula did, like, his second in command got married, and then on the day of his wedding night, he's like, yeah, I'm having sex with your wife now. I remember that scene. So I was just like, bro, what the fuck?
What kind of sociopath are you hanging out with? That's like, oh, Caligula was
a coworker.
Oh yeah, well, it makes sense.
Let's get into trailer talk.
Roll camera and action!
It's time for some trailer talk.
All right, so let's get into the trailer for 28 Years Later. Danny Boyle back in the director's chair. Alex Garland writing a whole new trilogy. So this is the first of a trilogy. Killian, Danny, and Alex are all producing the entire thing. So looks like it's worth the wait.
Yeah, that trailer is scarier than most of the horror films we've actually had released this year.
It's because of that creepy ass
recording.
Background
recording.
That old timey.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta find out what that shit is. With that
shit is fucking scary.
The propelled
shot on
beast?
an iPhone 15,
and it looks beautiful. It looks stunning.
Yeah, I mean
the imagery on that.
The biggest film ever shot on an iPhone 15 because this cost $75 million.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they put at least. I'm sure they bought at least 100 iPhones, and each one probably had at least a $10,000 camera
rig
package.
on it. Oh yeah, it was all rigged up. You could tell it was all rigged up. No way you give somebody an iPhone. I don't care how talented the DP is. You ain't giving somebody an iPhone and it's coming out like that. You know they had rigs.
Right.
They modified the shit out of that, put different lenses on.
But still, I like that on an iPhone, and the production value like that. I have always loved the 28 series, right? Like I spoke the gospel about 28 Days Later.
Same.
I like
with 28 weeks. Yeah.
I fuck with 28 weeks. Like I do.
Somebody give me a money and let me sit down with Andrew Garland and let's do a prequel so we could get 28 months because we gotta keep the order.
Yeah. Once this trilogy's done, somebody do 28 months and then we could be done with it. I mean, shit, do 28 hours, right? Like,
do another prequel.
28. Yeah.
So the 28 hours would be like a
prequel
Quiet Place Day One. Takes place entirely during the outbreak.
Yeah. But it is consistently one of the most inventive, terrifying, and socially relevant horror films series, right? I absolutely cannot wait. That's gonna be the horror movie to beat next year. Honestly, it might be the movie to beat next year.
Yeah.
Look, man, I was excited when they first announced it, and now I'm even more excited.
Right.
Nia DaCosta just wrapped the sequel. Like I said, Alex Garland wrote a whole new trilogy. She's done. I don't know what she shot it on, and I don't know who's in her movie. Right. I didn't even like. That's crazy. They shot these like one right after the other because like as soon as Danny Boyle wrapped, she went right into shooting the next one. So I'm like, damn, Sony must have
who's
a
doing
lot of
third?
motherfucking faith. Yeah,
I'm like she wrapped the second. I'm sure fucking they're starting production on the third right now.
I hope Alex Garland's doing the third, man.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Like, man, it's your series. Like, if it's not going to be him, bring back Danny and have Danny put the pin in it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited. I'm glad we finally get a proper Danny Boyle sequel.
Yeah, it looks stunning, man. It looks stunning. The trailer's incredible. The visuals on that are incredible.
Yeah.
That series never fails to impress.
Yeah.
And, and so I can only imagine just what this is going to be like. And the tension is ratcheted up on that motherfucker, man. So
Yeah. So, all right, 28 years later, it's like, goddamn.
Yeah, hopefully it'll get released in some premium formats, because I saw the release date and no premium formats on that date card like there normally is. So kind of sucks.
All right,
so let's get into our main review.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The Film Blerds feature film review.
All right, I'm going to start with a movie called Better Man. It's a Robbie Williams biopic. Everybody gets a fucking biopic this year. Except he's a chimpanzee in this.
I'm sorry, what?
He sees himself as de-evolved. So the entire movie, he's a CG talking chimp.
Sure.
Is this the one where he joins the band, or I'm thinking something else?
No, yeah. Because he was in a boy band before he was a solo artist.
Yeah, so
You saw the trailer, right?
I saw the trailer. I was hoping that was just a bad dream. So that's actually a thing.
Yeah. Better Man, where he's you could Google it right now.
I remember that. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Michael Gacy directed this, dude who did The Greatest Showman, and let me tell you this: they spent a lot of money on this motherfucker. Like, a lot. And I get it, because he's popped everywhere except America. Like, the only time Robbie Williams broke through in America was with his song Millennium. I remember that song, because it sampled You Only Live Twice by Nancy Sinatra.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that song.
And then Angels, because Angels you'll hear in every coffee shop every once in a while. Or every grocery store. Look, once you get over... the fact that there's a very expensive looking CGI chimp being voiced by Robbie Williams telling his own story, it just comes down to another average biopic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they spent mad money on this motherfucker. Like, you can tell. Like, a lot of money. This will probably... I would not be surprised if this swept up at the BAFTAs. Do you know what the BAFTAs are?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the BAFTAs are basically like the British version of the Oscars. And if this swept the BAFTAs, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. Like, he's Robbie Williams. Like, a Robbie Williams biopic done like this, yeah, I could see why people would eat it up. But for me, I was just like, another biopic about a musician who was picked on and retreats into... nothing but a cocktail of booze and cocaine, pills, and heroin. Heroin's coming back this year, man. Like, lots of people just shooting. It is weird just seeing a chimpanzee OD on the toilet with a needle sticking out of his arm. I'm just like, this is...
Yo, I kind of want to really watch this just for that.
Yeah, man. Curse it. Like, it cursed a lot. I'm like, damn, Robbie Williams curses more than I do, and you do nothing but pop and adult rock and jazz standards. Dude rapped a lot, too. Like, I was surprised how much he was rapping in this movie. I was like, damn, why does this dude rap a lot?
I kind of really want to see this movie. It seems real fucking weird.
Look, it is certainly that. It is certainly that. I'll say this. I was never bored.
Okay.
Never bored.
Fair enough. All right.
Like, listen, I saw this half in a coma, streaming from a screener onto my TV in my room. You know what I'm saying? So, I can only be so mad.
Right.
Because I'm catching up on stuff I missed before we do our end of list. So, like, I'm going to watch a couple of more screeners tonight. You know, now that I got through LIONESS, I realized, I wasted a whole weekend on LIONESS when I should have been wasting a weekend on watching these screeners.
All right. A better man. All right.
Yo, listen, watch the trailer. That's all I can say. Watch the trailer. And the trailer is exactly what the movie is. Except with just a lot more cursing and drugs. And lots of titties too.
Just like real titties though, right? Not like monkey titties.
The only thing that is CG is the fantasy and Robbie Williams himself, because again, he says he sees himself as de-evolved.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, it was,
and that's why
it
he's a
was different.
chimpanzee.
That's fine. Okay. Yeah.
I'm glad you broke it down for me though, because I remember I saw the trailer. I took down
Yo,
a couple beers. And
if
I
we
just
ever
said, so
blow
why
up
is
and I get a biopic, I want to be a fucking giraffe or a tortoise, bro.
Fuck it. You know what? Is that the theme for biopics going forward? Just like whatever animal you
spirit animal?
yeah.
I'm gonna I
Evolved
want to be a
spirit animal?
capybara.
Yeah,
Capybara, nigga.
capybara. I could be a capybara. I could be a cat. I could even be a cheetah.
I want to be like a werewolf donkey hybrid. I'm just throwing shit out there because why the fuck not? Because Jesus Christ! All right.
Somebody, yeah, you're gonna be like a wallaby or some shit.
And you know what's funny is like it's gotten good reception out of the film festivals.
Yeah, because it's a basic biopic, but like you put a CGI monkey in there, and people think, oh wow, this is thought provoking. This is interesting. This is someone with a vision. Like, and you don't want to be the person who hates the monkey pop star biopic. You don't want to be that asshole.
Oh yeah. Well, look, man. This is why I can only get so mad because I was half comatose, laying in bed, streaming this shit to my TV from my phone, and by the end of it, I was just like, oh okay. Robbie Willaims lived every single biopic I've ever saw.
I guess we done came a long way from Dunstan Checks In, so.
Yeah, bro. Look.
Oh man.
I'm not mad though. It's not the worst movie I've seen all year. It's not even. When people tell me they like it, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I can see why you were crying. I can see why you're emotionally invested. Like, I get it. Biopics do that. Like, I'm not even mad. So, like, I'll say this. I got more out of this than I did in another biopic that I will talk about later that I guarantee you is going to probably be more well-received than this one. Even though, we'll get into it. But, you know what? Let's get into Interstellar.
Yeah, so... Interstellar 70mm IMAX re-release.
10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary. The three of us went to go see that yesterday. My feelings on Interstellar, literally 10 years ago, Brandon and I went to see Interstellar at the IMAX in New York, and I remember not liking the movie, but it's fine. Years later, I see it again on TV, and it's like, okay, I was wrong. This really is a good movie. Come to see it yesterday, 70mm print, IMAX. I now believe that this is my favorite Christopher Nolan film. It is absolutely heartbreaking, beautiful, hopeful, and devastating all the same. And it's everything fucking works. Everything fucking works for this movie. For me personally,
watching it yesterday, the one thing that stood out to me is like how old school it is. Like I didn't realize, like seeing it back then, you know, we took a lot of things for granted, you know, just because nowadays, goddamn, everything is shot in front of a green screen, and the problem I think with that is, more often than not, you can easily point it out, and it's almost the entire movie. And watching something like this, where everything's tactile, where when Matthew McConaughey at the beginning of the movie walks to the window and he just sees miles of corn, and that corn is actually there, planted out from the ground. He drives through the cornfields. The cornfields are endless. The fact they have a real drone, they're chasing a real drone. Like I noticed too, more than anything on this IMAX screens, the spaceships and the space suits. Lots of brutalist inspired ships. Even the robots, Tars and Case, look brutalist inspired.
And a lot of these sci-fi shows, shit is designed to look cool. This looks, everything here looks practical, right? Like when I say practical, is like it's designed for functionality. Like those
For that
spacesuits,
purpose, yeah.
right? Those
100%,
spacesuits, they just look like slimmed down versions of what our astronauts really wear, right?
Mhm.
Right. They look
Like-
futuristic though.
They look futuristic, but like that's a spacesuit, right?
Right.
That's something NASA will have in 50 years. The spaceships, they look like renderings I've seen for the next generation of space shuttles, right?
Deep space travel.
Deep space, like if they're not there to look cool, right? Like the production designers like, not cool, put some spikes on it and some lights. It's like it's designed with like, this is what the shit will actually look like.
Well, the cylinders at the end, the space stations where they're cylinders, those are based on designs too. I forget, they're named after a certain scientist who created them. It's like somebody's cylinder, and those are actually, they've been trying to build those for 50 years.
Right? So like everything that is built here looks like it will be built, right? Like a lot of sci-fi shit is like, oh man, that's like 300 years in the future. Like it's some shit that you can't even recognize as ever having existed or being or existing.
I guess that's why I like Westworld too, because a lot of that just seems futuristic, but like tactile. Like that shit can come to exist.
Right, exactly. Like it's based on, because look, if you look at designs for cars, the basic design for a car hasn't changed from the Model T. It's just the next evolution of that thing. The Tesla is just an evolution of that fucking old school shit. The same thing with everything in Interstellar. It just looks like the evolution of shit that's already in existence. And that kind of grounds the audience.
One thing also I noticed is this felt like Nolan doing a Spielberg movie, like down
100%.
and out. And honestly, if he was still alive, I feel like this is the movie Kubrick would have made. If Kubrick was like, you know what, let me try my hand at a Spielberg movie, this would be it.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, because you know what, this is hands down my favorite Nolan film. And just picking up where you left off on the practicality, the design and look of the film, it felt real. It felt like shit like that could and will happen, is really happening, right? Why it feels like a Spielberg film, besides being shot on film and the lenses he uses and stuff, it's the emotional beats. That movie hits all the emotional beats.
Yeah, because
it
once
sets you up,
right,
and it ties everything up in the bow, which I couldn't. Some of the stuff I didn't understand 10 years ago. Don't know shit about quantum physics, but 10 years later, seeing it, 10 times, you're like, oh fuck, I get what he meant now, what he was trying to do there.
Right.
And he hits it on all the emotional beats. They take you on a ride, multiple rides in one film. That's the other thing.
I mean,
the practical visuals and the score. The score of that motherfucker is insane.
Oh yeah, like I'll be real with you. Like it is about them trying to save the world and save mankind, but it really at the heart of it is a love story between a father and a daughter, and you could definitely tell Nolan really loves his daughter because she's also in Oppenheimer in a very stark and startling way. And this is definitely like this basically is a dedication to his daughter.
Yeah.
And this is a great piece. This is designed for IMAX. It's incredible fucking IMAX.
Yeah. I forgot how surreal the ice planet looks when you first get there.
The worlds were ridiculous.
In IMAX.
Yeah.
And like that, the wave planet is terrifying.
It's terrifying. That's like stuff out of my nightmares, man.
I think that's what I love too, is like the set pieces in this aren't action based, you know what I mean? But they're still thrilling. Like that's why I'm so surprised this got made, because this wouldn't get made today, because people would be like, wait, nobody's fighting each other? There's only a couple explosions and they're not action based explosions?
What do you mean you want to grow real corn?
Yeah. Apparently, once production stopped, Nolan sold all that corn and came out like double profit.
Of course. Of course.
He told the studio, they're like, why can't we just CG this? And he's like, no, it has to be real. So they planted 50 acres worth of corn, and then they made money off of just the corn alone.
Yeah, see, like, look, you can you can make money and movies. You don't have to spend a whole bunch. Or if you do, then you can find ways to recoup it. But
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
I've always loved Matthew McConaughey as an actor. Like, I've never seen anything he's done that has been shit. But I don't think Matthew McConaughey will be better than Coop. The range of
this and True Detective were at like literally the same time.
Yeah.
Like this stretch for McConaughey is the best McConaughey will ever be.
Oh yeah. Like,
Yeah,
this role
that's tough
seems
to
like it was
top.
written for him.
Right.
Like, if you're gonna put him in a lead in a multi-million-dollar blockbuster movie, this is it.
Like that whole entire scene where he's watching the videos and the camera doesn't break, and he just goes through that range of emotions from like happiness to like utter just despair in 30 seconds. That is a masterclass in acting.
Yeah.
I mean, let's give Anne Hathaway a round of applause too, because like, I didn't really like her as Catwoman in Dark Knight Rises. So when she was casted in this, I was like, of course. And I always thought this was a good performance. But yesterday, like, she really is like trying to put up this tough exterior with Coop, and halfway through the movie, she just can't anymore.
And look, I've never been team Anne Hathaway. I've always thought she was just okay. But yeah, you're right. This movie and being involved with it honestly made everybody kind of up their game. You know, like no one's phoning this in.
And I do like the way Coop and Brand's relationship evolves over the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like they start off like very antagonistic just because he's just like flirting. He's trying to flirt with her by the end of it. Like, when he sacrifices herself, she is like heartbroken.
And that last scene after everything is done, I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but like,
what last scene?
Where like on the space station and you have like the voiceover.
Oh yeah, well, he always does that. He ends with the voiceover cross-cutting over to music.
Right, but like when he gets in the space shuttle, and I'm just like,
and he has that smirk on his face.
Yeah, it's like, come on, yeah, because I don't need a sequel to it. Like, I don't need a sequel to Interstellar, but I know that there's a sequel out there, and it's earned and deserved.
I would say leave it.
Like, I know, like I never need one, but like it just feels like this story is continuing beyond. These people are living beyond what I'm seeing, and that kind of gives me hope, right?
Gives you, yeah, for sure.
I just want to see. I don't need a Inception sequel, but I would like another movie set within that world, because I think the possibilities with that world are endless. The only thing I would like a sequel to is Tenet. Because you can't have that movie end where Neil's like, we're going to get up into some things. You're going to love it. Like, you can't allude to some shit like that, bro. Mm-hmm. After all this shit we just saw, like, come on, man.
That's like, that is Nolan saying there's more coming. Like he's somewhere down the line after he gets bored with everything else. He's like, all right, let's see what we got with this Tenet thing.
So, yeah, but IMAX footage is still fucking great. Now I see why this is the last movie he did 35 in IMAX, because the 70 millimeter does have a bigger gate and does look better when it switches aspect ratios. Because the 35 is just so grainy, and you could tell they shot with natural light. So some of it is a little dark, where they do that in Tenet and Dunkirk, and it works better because larger film stock, bigger aperture, bigger gate.
But yeah, like the when you go full IMAX with this, right? Like those scenes, like when you see was it Gargantuan?
Yeah, the black hole.
The black hole. When you see like the black hole and it's just taking up the entire fucking room.
Yeah,
it's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, there's just some things that just have to be done on IMAX. And that project was one of the things where casting, the acting, the directing, score, the visuals all came together at the same time to produce a masterpiece. And, that's why that movie's so rewatchable.
Yeah.
And it's 3 hours. It's fucking 3 hours, but it doesn't seem like 3 hours.
I mean, this re-release is so popular that they canceled our fucking screening of The Green Knight and added another showtime, and it sold out.
Yeah.
I'm like 7 p.m. on a Wednesday. Fuck y'all. We went at 2:45 in the afternoon on a Tuesday.
It's packed.
Sold out. Yeah.
Packed.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers showing up with fucking camping chairs.
This re-release made $4.5 million, bro. They said it did better than the top 3 movies because the per theater average was so high. So it got a whole nother week extended run before it has to give it up for Mufasa.
Good.
Depending on where you live, this will be playing, and then you'll get a KRAVEN showtime, or you'll get a Lord of the Rings showtime. I'm happy to get a Lord of the Rings showtime because that's what I'm gonna talk about next.
All right,
Segue.
go for it.
Lord of the Rings, the War of the Rohirrim. Saw this goddamn 2 months ago, so bear with me. This is a prequel. It takes like a page of the appendices, and like all this shit stretches the story out into a feature. This is 2 hours and 10 minutes. And I think it could have been shorter because there are some pacing issues, especially when they get to Helm's Deep. But don't get it twisted. The action in this is fucking fire. The sound design is fire. There is a hand-to-hand combat scene at the beginning of the movie. And every time somebody lands a blow, you feel the subwoofers in the room shake the entire room. Like the walls were fucking vibrating. And that hand-to-hand fist fight, I'm like, why are we getting this animated and not live action? Like, why can't we do this in live action, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, y'all suck. There is a set piece at the end of the first act that in a normal movie would be literally the climax. I'll be real with you. When I saw the trailer, I said this in our trailer review, Jeff, that it bothered me that the dubbing was off because the animators animated the mouth movements for clearly Japanese dialogue.
Right.
But I will say 5 minutes into the movie, I quickly got over that. Real quickly.
Okay.
Just because the
enough.
story, I was into it. The story was good, and the fights, especially the fights, are awesome. Of course, they tie in Lord of the Rings into this motherfucker.
But does it work, though?
It's just a couple of brief references that are there. One character pops up, and it's a deceased actor, so they just took dialogue from the movies and recycled it. And then the other one is like a blatant reference between two orcs, and then they run off.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
It's fine.
We'll say the story and the story beats, you can see what's going to happen with it. I mean, if you've seen one movie like this, you've seen them all, where like basically the main character is this woman of Rohan, and these guys within the kingdom are like, yo, she's going to get married to me. And the king's like, nah, she has to marry a man of Gondor, and she don't have any agency. And this whole movie's about her saving her kingdom while also claiming her agency. You know.
Right.
But it's entertaining enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, just because you know what's going to happen doesn't mean it's not enjoyable, right?
Yeah,
it's how they execute it.
It's the ride there.
And I would take this any day of the week over than that fucking Hobbit bullshit.
Still haven't seen it. Still have no desire to see it.
So there's that. But yeah, look, don't let this flop. Definitely go check it out. Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. Very surprised this is coming out, considering how David Zaslav feels about animated movies. I mean, just Cartoon Network is non-existent. Boomerang has disappeared. A Looney Tunes movie that I reviewed a few weeks ago is coming out through a different distributor, one completely up in the air. So, yeah. Definitely go see this because if this flops, then Zavlov's was like, I told you
So
cartoons.
see, fucking cartoons and shit. Joy, fucking fuck
Good year
Joy.
good year for animation, man. Great year for animation because this Flow, Transformers 1, The Wild Robot, Inside Out 2, and when Inside Out 2 is the weakest out of all of those, that's a
Right.
pretty fucking good year. Like all these
Yeah.
animated movies have been better than a lot of these live action movies y'all put out this year.
Honestly, like when I put together my best of list for
Half
this
of them
year,
gonna be
is
animated.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Inside Out 2 yet?
No, that's this weekend.
Yeah, right on Disney Plus. They
Yeah.
put up the Inside Out show today. I'm gonna give it a watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dream Productions. It's where Riley's discarded dreams are taken by the production team.
Okay, we'll check that out.
We'll see how long it actually stays on Disney Plus, because they took, because they love to take down shit too.
Oh, just found out last night on the train ride home that Moana 2, they made the decision to pivot from a TV show to a movie just in January. That's why it was a surprise announce because the decision to do that was so late.
Yeah, it's whatever. My feelings on Moana 2 are known. I mean,
congratulations on your $1 billion.
Right, but it wasn't
earned.
I guess. Right, it wasn't earned.
I will say this: with the first reactions of The Lion King coming out, I was like, "Oh, so Lin-Manuel was definitely missed because those songs." You listen to the songs in the first one, you're like, "Oh yeah, this is why this movie was a huge hit," and then you listen to the songs in the second one, you're like, "Wait, what was that again?"
Oh man! All right, well, you'll find out soon enough from us.
All right, well, let's get now. Before we all end up on The Hunter, let's get into a complete unknown. Timothy Chalamet produced this. I didn't even know that. He produced it along with James Mangold. Look, I'm going to be real with y'all. People love it because of the music and because of the performances. And that's why I like the Bob Dylan movie, because of the performances and because of the music. Bob Dylan movie's not good. This movie's also not good. This is just a standard biopic. It falls into the same problem as the Bob Dylan biopic. You don't really get to know much about him. Either one of these people. Like, he stays an enigma. And he stays an enigma because this movie kind of idolizes him. You know what I mean? And I get that because Bob Dylan made up his past. So, like, it's real sketchy trying to find out the truth of where he came from and, like, who exactly he is. Like, it's been confirmed, like, he was from a Jewish family in New Jersey and he grew up in the suburbs. And a lot of the shit that he talks about himself was completely fabricated. But like a lot of the most interesting parts of this movie, it kind of brushes up on. Like it pulls a Finn to Rose where it just runs by, pats on the shoulder. Like somebody messaged me on Twitter. They were just like, does it cover his civil rights movement and all the stuff he does in the civil rights era and all of his work with the Black Panthers? I was like, touches upon it for about like maybe 2 minutes and then keeps it moving. Like I will tell you, the only civil rights shit they get into besides arguments with his girlfriend, you see footage of MLK giving the "I Have a Dream" speech, and then right after that, he goes up to the podium and performs, and that's it.
It really just flew by. Okay.
Yo, I'm like, well, well, James Mangold, I see you.
Biopics, right? Especially music biopics.
I don't it's been known, I do not like musical biopics because of the reasons you're stating right here. The more interesting parts of their lives, like the parts that make them human, right? I don't want to see a musician succeed because I've already know they've succeeded. You have a biopic after you have records, right? I want to see them fucking fail. I want to see them be scumbags.
But yeah, like you were saying, Jeff, like you said, like I everything I was just saying is why you hate music biopics.
Yeah, it's I want to see them I want to see Ray hooked on drugs, right? I want that movie. Like I want to see the worst parts of them. So just so I can really feel something for when they triumph or succeed, right? I want to see a Rick James biopic that's nothing but those 2 days where he had those chicks kidnapped in his apartment. I want to see the scumbaggery.
I mean, it's there because he cheats on Sylvie, and Sylvie is because everybody knows he was dating a couple of women around this time, and Sylvie, which is the character played by Elle Fanning, is an amalgamation of those actual people.
Right.
So this movie really focuses on his relationship with Sylvie and his relationship with Joan Baez, played by Monica Barbaro. I'm so surprised by her performance because I remember seeing her in Top Gun Maverick, and I was like, oh yeah, this girl has something. And then she was in a Paramount Plus streaming movie and didn't really make an impression. But here as Joan Baez, I was like, fantastic performance. Same with Elle, it's a pretty good performance despite the fact, and let's get into the next problem. These ladies have jack shit to do other than to be staring at Bob in awe or be frustrated at Bob. Bob, you're an asshole. Bob, I thought you loved me.
Yeah.
Come on, Bob, just be in awe. Like, half of Elle Fanning's runtime is her standing with her mouth agape with tears in her eyes, like welling up. And I'm just like, damn, like, come on, y'all. Aren't we past this type of bullshit?
Mangold, come out to play.
And shout out to both of them because they really did the most with nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Besides Monica Barbaro, the one person who really also blew me away was Edward Norton as Pete Seeger, the dude who puts Bob on. I did not know he could play caring, mentor figure, all around good guy, Pete Seeger. He's a good guy till he gets angry at the end of the movie where he gets a little angry. But then even then, it's just like, well, yeah, he's still a good dude.
Right.
But like the main other thing it focuses on is his transition, his rise in the folk world, and then his struggles with transitioning from folk to electric blues rock.
That sounds boring.
Yeah, not really much of a struggle, right? You just see him go. Everything comes to Bob naturally. Everybody's like, he's a genius. Like, I knew this was bullshit because they show him performing at the Newport Folk Festival, and he goes, I'm going to play a new tune. I never performed this for anybody. And he performs The Times Are Changing, and the whole audience starts singing along with him.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. I was just like, all right, get this shit. Shout out to Scoot McNairy. He plays Woody Guthrie, and I don't know what illness Woody Guthrie had, but he had an illness where all he could do was like knock, and he would shake real violently. By the end of the movie, though, like it was a good performance until like the very end of the movie where his condition clearly got worse. It kind of teetered over into parody. I was like, oh, this nigga's like Shakes McGee now. Shakes. Every time he came on screen, I just wanted to be yelling out, Shakes! Oh, yeah. The audio jump scares, before we move on, the audio jump scares were fucking wild, too. Like, the title card comes up, a complete unknown, and there's a few seconds of black, and then it just cuts to, like, you know how it's loud inside a car where you could hear the car engine and the car hitting the road and stuff? Yeah, it cuts to that as they're on the bridge. Bob is in the back of a station wagon getting a ride from a family. And then when he visits Woody Guthrie in the hospital, it cuts, and you see out of the doorway a bucket, like a steel stained bucket, just come out loudly, just, and you see the dude mopping the floor. Bob watches this dude mop the floor for a good 2 minutes before he decides to move on. So he tries some audio jump scares that were weird.
Yeah, that seems out of place for a musical biopic, but okay, whatever. James Mangold.
Yeah. Look, the only thing I can say about this is, besides like this movie literally rests on the shoulders of the performances from everyone. Because yes, Timothy Chalamet is great as Bob Dylan. I'm not even gonna hold you. But like the only other thing saving it is the music. Like, yo, I was just like, oh yeah, I haven't heard Maggie's Farm, and haven't thought of Maggie's Farm in years. Like, I haven't thought or heard that song in years.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was on stage performing it, I was just like, oh yeah, this is a black ass song, because that's how I feel every time I go to work. Like every time I like that's going to be the song of the revolution. Motherfuckers just get fed up. I ain't going to work on Maggie's Farm. You're going to see motherfuckers going around in militias to that, just shooting everybody. I'm telling you, Maggie's Farm is one of the blackest songs ever made. But yeah, Boyd Holbrook. I'm tired of this motherfucker now being in every single James Mangold movie for no reason. Guess who he plays? And y'all gonna laugh when you guess this.
I don't know who's to play.
He plays Johnny Cash.
Oh wow.
James Mangold made a movie with Johnny Cash. So it is kind of a little like I get why he couldn't get Joaquin, but it also is distracting that it's not Joaquin. So you're watching somebody else play Johnny Cash by the man who did the Johnny Cash movie. And what makes it more distracting that it's Boyd Holbrook. And it's distracting because Boyd Holbrook has been in like the last 4 James Mangold movies.
Yeah, this is this whole
playing
this
the
whole
same rascally. He's a rascal in this, so it's just like you're not even playing that much different of who you played before.
This whole entire movie sounds boring and designed for middle-aged white men.
Oh yeah, and this is why it's gonna clean up at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Also, this is 2.5 hours, and I gleaned nothing insightful about Bob Dylan that I already didn't know. Like, I knew he was part of the civil rights era. I knew how important he was to folk music. I do like some of his songs. I do know that he came up in the Lower East Side as a musician. Like, I mean,
this whole entire movie can be like you gain everything from this movie by just looking on Wikipedia. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, man. So once it hits like it's rated R, and honestly, it easily could have been PG-13 because there's no, it's implied sex, so no shown sex. It's really just the swearing, and barely any swearing at that. So like, this shit could have easily been a PG-13, just like our next review could have easily been a PG-13. But like, yeah, man, like Christmas Day, you got some options, and this is one you save for Hulu.
All right, fair enough.
You know, like if Wicked doesn't win, I wouldn't be surprised if this won.
I mean, Wicked's gonna win, but like if this won, I would be actually upset.
I would not be surprised in the fucking slightest. Honestly, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, it's America. Y'all remember when White America was very like, Ray's good, but does Ray need to be nominated? And then the very next year, those same people, Walk the Lines, Best Picture of the Year.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, fair enough.
We're in one of those situations.
Fair enough.
All right, let's get into The Hunter. KRAVEN with a K. Actual line from the movie. Yo, you could ask Jeff. I was laughing for 5 minutes. Like, I could not stop laughing at that shit. KRAVEN with a K.
Like, I wanted to like this movie, and then the movie dared me not to.
This movie's over 2 hours, bro.
It's over 2 hours. It could have been an hour and a half. The only person who seems to be having fun is Alessandro Navarro
and Fred Heisinger.
And Fred.
He gives the best performance in this motherfucker.
Right? As Cucky McGee.
Yeah.
Even Russell Crowe. No, I take that back. Russell Crowe gives the best performance, followed by Fred.
Yeah. Because Russell Crowe's been playing this same dude for the last 5 years.
You said, right? I know this guy.
Like,
The
oh
script,
yeah,
yeah, I know this guy.
yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Yo, he gets his powers just like Spider-Man.
Right? Like, it's all right. So radioactive lion. All right. So,
Why was the fucking lion radioactive? Like, nobody explained that part. Why is this giant
it
radioactive lion walking around the safari? It was okay. Never mind.
It was the family juice from Calypso mixed in with the blood, but like my man's basically was Spider-Man because he did nothing but climb up walls and jumped and lift. He did everything Spider-Man did, except every once in a while he would turn into Rob Schneider from The Animal. You know what I'm talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yo,
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
He did. All right, so let's talk about this Calypso character, right? So like, this needless. So like, all right, so there's this in the flashback that takes 15 minutes to give you like the example of how the nigga gets his powers. This is well-to-do black families in Africa also meeting with grandma. Grandma talks to the daughter. It's like, here's the secret black blood juice from the family. Do not tell your parents.
I got a bus to catch.
Right. It will accept it. If you give this to someone, it will heal them with unexpected results. It's like dum 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 dum. All right, so later on, fucking fucking Sergey Romanov or whatever the fuck his name is gets his ass whooped by a lion, dragged into the forest. This magic Calypso bitch with her secret juice comes in, gives the white boy the secret juice, just as the lion's blood drips into the open wound on nigga's chest.
You probably get a rabies shot.
Right? Like, is that how you get AIDS? Right? I'm surprised, like, a lightning bolt didn't strike the lion and KRAVEN at the same time as she was pouring the juice in the blood. That's how dumb this was. And then there's a spirit trip through the forest with some ruins.
The
hieroglyphics and shit. And then and then he is KRAVEN the Hunter. And then, but the Calypso character, we don't see from her for like 30 years.
She comes back as Ariana DeBose with one of the worst wigs I've ever seen, looking straight like fucking a Electra from the 1980s when Frank Miller used to draw her.
It's just a perm. That bitch had
I'm so glad that was a wig,
bitch had a
bro.
drippy jerry curl, right?
Yo, with the shoulder pads, bro. The shoulder pads too. I'm like, bro, she looks like she's from 1983. What in the hell is going on?
I don't know. Somebody from wardrobe department pranked that whole production, bro.
Right? But that whole entire Calypso character could have got rid of her and nothing changes. Like,
you know what character you could have did that to more than Calypso is the fucking Christopher Abbott character. You could cut him completely the fuck out. Who? Yeah. I still don't know who that character was.
Slow
still
Mobius.
Don't know. Still don't know what his powers are, or how he got his powers, or why he has his powers.
He can count to three.
Count to three. 1, 2, 3.
So they took his character from On the Count of Three and put him in this movie.
Yo, like if you ever watch Rick and Morty, he's fucking Slow Mobius, right? He's just like, it's a slow down time.
This movie has like 80 bad guys, bro, for no reason.
80 bad guys too. Each one of them has at least 10 minutes worth of dialogue explaining why they are angry at the world.
I turned into a rhino. Wanna see?
It's like
I'm sort of what they call me a chameleon. I didn't even know Chameleon was in this till J.C. Chandor came out last night. It was like, Fred Heisinger is the Chameleon. I'm like, wait, the Chameleon's in this motherfucker?
Right. And it's like
I love how they announced it too in with the exposition. He's
right. It's like the foreigner says the foreigner's 10 minutes exposition. Well, KRAVEN killed my mentor, who was more like a brother to me in New York, and
that's all you get to know about him.
Right. But I've made it my mission to fight and find the KRAVEN character. And here's the copy of the Daily Bugle that I happen to hold around the copy of the Daily Bugle from the day my mentor died. Not even like a clipping. The nigga pulled out the full the full Daily Bugle paper, advertisements and all, circular section.
Shamelessly,
just to show motherfuckers.
Shamelessly, anytime they could, they would throw the Daily Bugle in there. Whenever there was a time that happened where me and Jeff laughed at the same exact time where they popped up the Daily Bugle. This bitch is reading about covert ops shit from the Daily Bugle on her laptop.
Right, like
yeah.
So this didn't know if he wanted to be Captain America or Spider-Man, because there are allusions to all better Marvel movies in this one. You want to see a motherfucker have tug of war with a
helicopter?
There you go.
Another movie filmed entirely in front of a green screen. Like, damn, y'all. Like, if we're spending $130 million worth of money, I don't understand why we're not going to locations. Like, we cannot. Hawaii's right there. Like, go to Hawaii, go find a field somewhere. It's ridiculous, bro.
Just
like,
go to fucking Africa.
Yeah, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, every single shot in this is in front of a green. Also, the production designer never needs to ever work again, because no imagination was put into any of the real sets. And then all the CG backgrounds. Like, yo, I told y'all this last night. Alexander Navarro, when he's standing in his office, in the background is nothing but industrial smokestacks. There's like 5 of them. I was just like, what the fuck is this? And why? What? Like, what? Like, it makes no sense in any context. Like, why would there be these industrial smokestacks behind this dude's office?
I don't know.
It is insane.
So go ahead.
There's a bunch I wanted to say. Well, sorry,
KRAVEN's hideout fucking sucks, man. I was just like, no imagination.
No, and he's been living in the bush forever, and he's the most manicured dude living in the bush I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
he's been out there for like 15 years with no running water or nothing. I wanted to like it. I thought the opening was dope in the Russian prison. They had me so that they had me go in there, and then just the lack of charisma and just shit just happening, just like didn't make any sense. I was like, all right, Sony and Marvel together. This is what it is, you know. But
Aaron Taylor Johnson's Russian accent would come and go.
Yeah,
Fred Heisinger didn't even have a Russian accent, which is wild.
Because he's the chameleon.
But here's my thing. These motherfuckers grew up in London, right?
Yeah.
So why don't they have 8 British accents? Right?
I don't know.
Because they went to boarding school in London.
Because he's Sergey, the hunter.
All right.
I'm Sergey. I'm Russian. I drink vodka.
And like,
my sons need to be strong, not pussies.
And like some of the fucking fights, they really worked, and that gave me hope. But then, with the CGI blood and the CGI gore and all that other bullshit, is like,
yeah,
really,
bro.
word?
I was just like, dog, y'all spent more money making this rated R than if you had just made it PG-13. Quite honestly.
There's one motherfucker in there that is so laughable, and I'll let you find out for yourself. And it is like, gotcha, motherfucker. And it's like, oh, so you showed up?
Yo, the fact that one of the producers had the balls to seriously say, yeah, it's coming out December 13th because this could play through the holidays. I'm like, nobody's seeing this fucking shit.
I'm going to take I'm gonna take my brother to see it in 40x because this is the type of shit that like he will like, but even he'll be like, nigga.
There's so many better movies coming out.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Like, Nosferatu comes out Christmas Day, y'all.
Yeah, this is
Sonic,
Yeah.
which looks hard, comes out next week.
And like, luckily, this is probably the death kneel.
Oh yeah.
For Sony,
now. They said this is the end for now. Like, the only thing they got planned is wrapping up Spider-Verse, apparently working completely with Marvel proper over at Marvel Studios, and then the only thing they're going to oversee is the Spider-Man Noir show that is going to star Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, so like, I don't.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I could spend an hour talking about how bad this movie is, and I had no hopes for it to begin with, but I thought it was going to be at least entertaining.
Yeah, I like Madam Web better than this motherfucker. And yo, if you thought Madam Web had some bad ADR, like yo, Ezekiel Sims has some bad ADR in Madam Web, and I thought like, oh, that's gonna be the worst we see all year.
So I
stand corrected.
So there's a whole entire exchange in a wide shot, right? Like a big piece of dialogue and exposition that was obviously ADR'd, right? And that's why they stuck on the wide shot, right? So you couldn't see their mouths.
Almost all of Fred Hessinger's dialogue
he's not singing.
ADR.
That's
yeah,
rough.
the singing is from the actual artist. So that's really Harry Styles. That's really Frank Sinatra.
Because, chameleon.
He's a chameleon.
JJ.
The motherfucker who clapped last night when he turned into the chameleon from the comic books, I was like, nah, dog, nah. Yeah. Like, that one dude clapped when his face became chameleon from the comics. I was like, nah, bro.
He was trying too hard, man.
I was like, nah, nah.
Like, no one likes you. No one likes you, guy.
Yo, wait till the Rhino shit in this is insane. Especially the way the Rhino dies, I was just like,
spoiler alert, most of the bad guys die in this. The Rhino dies
disposable villains.
Because his fucking dialysis port is open, right? Pretty much, that's what that is.
I will take Paul Giamatti in Amazing Spider-Man 2 any day of the week over this dumb shit. Y'all have two villains that help define Spider-Man, KRAVEN and Rhino, and they're not even fighting fucking Spider-Man. KRAVEN has the most notorious Spider-Man storyline.
Cartoons, maybe? Can we get we'll get the cartoons. JT, you gotta run? Brothers,
I gotta run, man. They're about to cut they're fixing up my electric today, so
all right.
I appreciate y'all, man. It was dope as always, man. There's a lot more I want to say on Rhino. Unfortunately, I got the time cap, but it's been dope breaking bread with y'all today as usual, man.
Thanks for being on the show, man.
Later, man.
Thank y'all for having me. Peace out.
Yeah,
but woo! It's rough, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I got antsy. Like at least Madam Web was less than 2 hours. This is over. It got to a point where, honestly, Jeff, I really wanted to leave.
Well,
and just a heads up, Sony has just as much faith in this as they do in Madam Web. So once the credits start rolling, that's it.
You can leave. You can.
So once you hear the Russian choir, you can leave.
Yeah.
130 million. Predicted to do anywhere from 13 to 15 million this weekend.
That's not good, guys. That's not good at all.
You can't spend. There's no way you can spin that into a win.
Right. Like, I'm sorry.
And JC, I don't know why you're so gung-ho on doing a sequel. He wants to make this a duology. So KRAVEN's Final Hunt, he wants to make it a duology where he fully becomes a villain. I'm like, bro, why? Yo, JC Chandor is a filmmaker who had a style and some personality. And this seemed like it could have been made by the fucking grip on set. Honestly, like the grip on set could have directed this.
The AI, like the script and the dialogue is so laughable that at a certain point I was like, did AI write this?
I mean, this is so soulless and lacks any kind of distinction,
right,
or personality. It is tedious. It is generic. Like this is what Fox used to pump out, like these generic early 2000s superhero movies.
Right.
Yeah.
And honestly, those were better.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this. Fantastic Four, Tim Story's Fantastic Four movies are better than this shit.
Yeah. This is it will, if you don't have to pay money for this, I could understand. All right, yeah, I watched it, I liked it, right? But if I got to travel outside, spend gas, struggle with fucking all the white nationalists out there in the world to go to a movie theater to pay $20 for
a Russian South African,
right? And pay $30 for some snacks, it's not worth it. This is not worth going to the movie theater for.
And Sony, like, yo, shout out to you for putting us in Dolby, but also fuck you for giving us week old popcorn.
Right?
That was nothing but kernels.
Week old popcorn, no candy, and the water was cold, but the soda was warm.
And that's why I drink water. I quit soda a long time ago.
Yeah. So I mean, look, this is a movie that's movieing. It's out there.
Yeah, man.
I don't just it's
yeah, I don't know what y'all want us to say, bro. It is what it is. Like, look, listen, we are literally now at the end, so I'm hoping Sonic 3 is just as enjoyable as the last two, and that Barry Jenkins didn't get totally waterboarded by Disney.
Right. And if it's any solace, Kraven the Hunter is at least better than Bloodshot.
Yo. Bloodshot needed another like 30 million. They tried to do like a $100 million movie on like a $20 million budget with a terrible script.
Yeah. So like at least you're not Bloodshot, Kraven. Because like
damn, bro.
That is a bar. That is a low bar.
This was supposed to come out August 2023, before Venom 3, before Madam Web. It is now coming out December 13th, 2024. Marinate on that for a minute.
Like, honestly, if this had come out before Madam Web we would be like, oh, all right, well, Kraven's not that bad. All right, because we would have forgotten about Kraven.
Like I said, I had a better time watching Madam Web, bro.
Because like it is two different types of bad.
Yeah, one's more enjoyable. Like if you're gonna be nonsense, be fucking nonsense, because that's what Madam Web is. It is just utter nonsense.
Right, Madam Web is batshit ineptitude. Kraven is just boring, honestly.
Yeah,
boring, lazy.
This is just a bad studio movie more than anything.
It is.
Where Madam Web is a mistake. This is just a bad studio movie.
Right. Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Like, you could tell the studio just absolutely destroyed Madam Web, and then this one, it was just like, go make something.
Right. Like,
go make something, but all the shit you normally do, you can't do that.
Right. We can't. Like, we have to make this movie to keep the rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah. It just bums me out that big studio filmmaking nowadays is just shooting it all in front of a green screen.
The volume is great, right? But it should not be your go-all, be-all.
And they make it so obvious because, like, the hair, man. Like, at least have people have short hair and don't make it obvious. Like, when people with long hair stand in front of obvious green screens, you can tell. Like, that wig, I'm like, first off, the wig is terrible, but the wig also ain't helping the background she's standing in front of.
Fair. Like, this movie's... It falls on a lot of different levels. All right? But at least Alexander Navarro got paid.
Yeah, at least Yo, the only one who comes out of this looking good is Fred Heisinger.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Because at least he tried to do something. That character's a cuck, soy boy, but it is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Fred, man. Fred's
having a great year. Good for you,
yeah.
Fred.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Nickel Boys, see Nickel Boys, because goddamn, do you want to murder him by the end of the movie?
And if you haven't seen Thelma, see Thelma, because you want him to be you want him in your family.
Yeah. Range of roles this dude had this year, huh? Range of roles. I know I said that earlier in the episode, but like seriously.
Yeah, I'm gonna start calling Fred Heisenberg Range Rover.
He really is the chameleon.
I'm gonna call him Range Rover from now on.
He's gonna be chameleon. And I mean that as a term of endearment, because as an actor, that's what you should be. A chameleon. He is the chameleon. God damn. I'm going to have to look up his CV once we're done recording, see what he got coming up next.
All right, I got nothing else.
That is episode 143.
We're the Film Blerds. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blerds podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFire XL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.